God shed his grace on the... Hey, do you guys know the Canadian national anthem? Like, past, oh, Canada, past that. We all got that. That's how we know it's the Canadian anthem. Well, what's the next words? What comes next? You don't know. You people don't know. I don't know. I just realized I don't know. Here's what I think it is. I think it's, oh, Canada, God shed his grace on thee. But I think that's an American song. Isn't that a lyric from one of our American songs? I don't know. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. It's Leslie C. in the chat room. It's Peter L. in the chat room. It's Byron in the chat room. Everybody's piling in. Let's see here. Is the chat set up properly? Want to make sure that everybody mixes and interacts. This chat room, we're hoping to build it into a scene. Invite your friends. Hey, what are you doing at lunchtime today? Why don't you put us on and hang out? I don't know. Some new people have been showing up in the chat room lately, and I know this because they've contacted me in other venues, other platforms, and you're all just being so wonderful. I appreciate it. Everybody be cool. Everybody, here's the deal with the chat room. We're all cool until somebody ain't cool, and then the regulators regulate. That's how it's done around here. Okay, before we get started on the rant, hi, Pugs Moran here. This is the High Noon Rant on the Radio Misfits platform and radiomisfits.com, but it's a streaming platform, podcast creation center, distribution. It's everything. It's everything. If you want to do, that's what you do. You call them Radio Misfits. All right, dog. The dog is giving me looks. The dog is not. The dog and I just had a situation. All right, so I'm going to show you the dog. No, I can't. I don't want to screw up the camera. It's laundry day, so the beds are all stripped, and, kids coming for the weekend. It's kid weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. But the beds, everything's getting washed and cleaned. He's got to have clean bedding and all that. I don't know. I make that a priority. For some reason, I don't care if there's no food in the fridge, but if he comes over and he's like, these pillowcases smell, I don't know, for some reason that registers with me. So he always gets clean blankets and clean stuff. So everything's all stripped. And here's what happened. I'm going to share with you guys my first $1 billion idea in a very long time. I have these $1 billion ideas from time to time, and it just takes, the right person to hear it. And I'm doing it here on this live stream because it's like a trademark, right? Same thing. Here, I said it on this day. On the podcast, boom, there's me. So I had this idea. See, it's laundry day, so the beds are all stripped. And the dog thinks that, okay, so I'm going to go just climb up on these beds now. And the dog thinks he can do all that. But I accidentally put all the clean laundry on the bed. And the dog, because, man, who can resist clean laundry fresh from the dryer? And not just clean laundry. We're talking clean pillowcases, sheets, blankets, stuff, the good stuff. So the dog, I didn't notice, the dog goes and just makes himself a big little nest right in the middle of all that. And she's like, oh, she's hog heaven. So I walk in and I'm like, get out, you can't get up. I do that thing we do with her to get out of here. We're not really mad because we get it on some level. That looks pretty damn comfortable. I wouldn't mind just laying and all that. But okay, we got to lay the hammer down. So it's, come on, get out of here. And she got in a little trouble. I mean, she didn't get hit or anything, but I gave her that look, and I called her the bee girl, bee girl. Oh, yeah. So she got the hint. She knew what was going on. So immediately, as I was climbing into the cockpit here at these new studios that we're doing the High Noon Rant from these days, she made a move on me. She made a move on me. She stopped me in my tracks. She looked up at me with those big sad eyes, and then I leaned in and she started kissing my face. The way they do. She knew she was bad. She's trying to make up. She wanted to see if we were cool. Of course we're cool. She's right there looking at me. Of course we're cool. We're fine. We're good. And she starts licking my face. Not licking, because I don't want to allow that. Like one lick, fine. She's a dog. It's an accident. It's gross. But, these people, have you seen these people who let their dogs lick their faces? Oh, my God. These people. Put them on a list, right? So she starts licking me. And I'm like, okay, baby. You're my... I start talking like that because we all talk like that to our dogs for some reason. Oh, babe. We all start talking like, someone who fetches carts at a Tom Thumb. But then my very next reaction was, holy God, oh my God, what the hell? Dog breath. It's a problem. Am I right? It is ruining some of our dearest and closest moments with our animals. I would have stayed an extra 5 seconds and let her, sniff my face and all that if her breath didn't smell like shit. Good morning, Rick. Rick's in the chat room. Rick, you've walked into the middle of one of my $1 million ideas. So here's my $1 million idea. Because I'm a genius, I'm looking at the problem and I'm going, her breath smells like shit. Why does her breath smell like shit? And yeah, she goes out and she's not a shit eater. So I could eliminate that right away. Some dogs are shit eaters. Some dogs you have to go, well, she eats shit. They eat turds. That's not her. Never seen her do it. Can't call her that. So it's her dog food. So why does dog food have to make their breath smell so bad? Why can't there be like minty scope dog food? How about that? That's my $1 billion idea. Thank you. I think there should be dog food that makes dogs' breath smell good. Because the brushing, you ever seen someone try and brush I brush my dog's teeth. Okay, good luck with meat. Do you know what it would be if I had to try and brush this Catahoula bulldog's teeth every day? This hyperactive, oddly and concerningly aggressive Catahoula bulldog. Do you know what it would be like if I had to try and brush her teeth every day? Oh my God. I would be carved up like, Hugh Jackman in that Wolf movie. What is it? It's probably his most famous role. I don't know, that Wolf movie. I don't know. Well, he's all scarred up. That's what I would look like every day because she would just, not aggressively, but she'd be like, no, Daddy, I don't want this. And she'd be like, paw, and I would take the worst of it. All right. Hi, everybody. How are you? Let me say hi to the chat room. I've been filling a little bit of time here. Leslie C is here. Leslie C says, brush her teeth. No, are you insane? I just told you why I won't brush her teeth. She then goes on to say she would probably like it because the toothbrush tastes like chicken. Wait, what? That's a thing? Huh? Somebody else had $1 billion idea because that's a thing. Do you know, I actually thought that. I thought, well, if we got to brush her teeth, how would we do it? I thought bacon. I thought a bacon flavored toothbrush for dogs that I could sell monthly to dog owners across America. But I didn't go with that because I then looked at my dog and went, no way, bacon or not. There's no, you know what she does? You know why she can't? You know why my dog can't play fetch? Here's why my dog can't play fetch. I've tried to teach her. You take a tennis ball and you show it to her and you go, hey girl, want to play fetch? And you start moving the tennis ball around. And most dogs, what they do in that moment is they stop and they watch and they're like, yeah, Daddy, I want to play fetch. Yeah. And then you throw it and they watch it and then they chase it. Here's what my dog does when I have a tennis ball in my hand and start to move it. She attacks my hand. She goes right out. She doesn't care about throwing the ball. She wants the ball as it sits in my hand. So we can't play fetch. She's incapable of playing fetch. Again, she's not being aggressive. She's playing. She feels bad after she bites my hand. She feels bad. And she doesn't continue. She's not like, I smell blood, take him down. It's not like that. All right, $1 billion idea. Dog food that doesn't make dogs' breath taste like shit. Somebody with some initiative want to run with that? I'll take a check after your first 1 million bags sold. Hi, Smee. Smee is in the chat room today. Smee says, we have huskies who like to try and raid the cat box. The weird little... You have huskies, Smee. Smee, my favorite dog of all time. Yeah, I'm going to talk about her again. Why are you licking the... Don't lick that. CeeLo hates when I talk about Blue. Blue was my dog for 15 years. Oh, my God. Blue was a Husky Timberwolf mix. And Blue... Yeah, yeah. Oh, my God. She gets so jealous. CeeLo gets so jealous when I talk about Blue. She's always being compared to Blue in a negative way. Blue was great. But man, here's what I loved about Huskies. Well, I didn't love it at the time, but now when I think back on it, they were the greatest escape artists in the history of dogs. There is no other dog breed alive that is as competent and as clever at escaping things as a husky is. We could not crate our husky because our husky could figure out how to escape the crate. So it's just like you get the run of the house. Now, luckily, Blue was pretty good about that later in life. She is the dog who, this is, okay, you want to hear an escape act? So when my first wife and I first got our husky, Blue, she was probably, I don't know, at this point, 6 months old, maybe. No, maybe even less than that. Anyway, we would go to work and we put her in a crate and she would be in her crate in the kitchen. And one day after this was the norm for, I don't know, a few months, one day the wife and I walk in and we see the dog laying on the couch. Now the dog was in the kitchen in a crate. And by the way, the kitchen was barricaded. We moved the couch and in like a giant dresser in front of the kitchen entrance. She couldn't get out of the kitchen. Yet here she is. She's laying on the couch. And then I notice, and my stomach sinks, I notice that she is covered in something white. And at that moment, I recognized that's drywall. That dog went through the drywall. Not only did she escape her kennel, Blue, she got out of the kennel. I don't know, she pried the metal and the plastic just far enough that collapsed her shoulders and she squeezed through. Then she had, project 2, which was now I'm in the kitchen. How do I get into the kitchen? I'm too much of a little dog. I can't get over that barricade yet. In later years, she would. She looked at the wall and went, I think there's something on the other side of that wall. And she just made a hole. Huskies, man. They are awesome. Shmi says Huskies have an amazing ability to look like they are running on 2 brain cells, but they are smart and can learn words like sentences. They're essentially fuzzy 4-legged toddlers. I would agree with that. I love Huskies, but Huskies are not entry-level dogs. They're not like, if you're used to the golden retriever experience, don't get a Husky because a Husky is going to test you. Who else do we have in today's chat room on this Friday before we get the show moving? Let me see. I hate that I can't see everything all at once without changing the screen. What did I do? Oh my God, here's another thing from last night. You guys, I don't know if you're following KT Fun Tweets on YouTube. He did something awesome. And I'm like, how do you do what? Here's what he did. He played like games. He did a game show on his YouTube channel last night where he was giving away his own money, which, I felt personally attacked because here I am, a guy that asks my listeners for money. We'll get to that. But he was actually he was playing games and he was giving, like, the first guy he played with, the guy won like $150. Like, the rules are you got to have Venmo and he'll Venmo it to you. Anyway, it was crazy. It was like, I'm like, should I do this? Because like this show needs money. I'm like, wouldn't that be a good story to tell? But I didn't do it. I was like, nope, not gonna play. Here's what he does. He like has a green room on the service that he uses. He uses StreamYard. And this is way inside. But he puts a link up in the chat. Like right now in the chat, I would put a link up and everybody would click it. And the first group of people to fill up the green room are contestants in the game show, and they just pop on and they have to have a Venmo. And I don't know. It was very, very imaginative. That's great. And here's why I was encouraged by that. Because one of the things I've always wanted to do at the local level, digitally driven, is do a daily game show. But it would need sponsors and we would need to give things away. But to see the way he was doing it, man, that was so cool. KT Fun Tweets on YouTube. All of those guys, they're all out there. All of the freak guys, you can find them. They're all doing cool stuff. Most of them are doing sportsy stuff. Reiner is kind of taking a King's tour. He's in talking to a lot of people, and he's talking about all manner of things because he's world's most, or at least Dallas's most interesting man. Kavanaugh's doing a lot of sportsy stuff. I've not heard from Soroy. Ben and Skin are not doing much, but that's probably just because they're plotting their next move to do something that's going to be real impressive. So Who else are we missing? Julie Dobbs from The Freak. What was she on her mom's podcast? I'm so sorry. Just Google Julie Dobbs podcast. It'll come up. It's not that hard. I don't have to be specific in 2024. She gave a really compelling kind of testimony about, what it's like to wake up without a job and have kids. And, and it was pretty heavy. That was really great. Julie Dobbs went real the other day. I felt that. Okay, so there you go. That's it. Jeff Ballard says I should do a knockoff of the Wait, Don't Tell Me. Well, I do want to try and do more, but I'm probably going to have to ultimately end up doing less because things have changed. Let's see. All right. Now, yeah, you lay down. Now that you've made the bed all wet, she was licking the mattress in the most disgusting way possible. Hold on. Can you see it? Maybe she's in a position now where you can see her better. Yeah. Watch this. Okay. Let's see. She won't even make eye contact with me now. There she is. Hey. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You just stay there for the next hour and a half to 2 hours, okay? Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you just vomit on the carpet? Did you just see that? You guys just see what you did there? Oh my God, is she gross. But we love them. Dogs. What are we going to do? Okay. Now, on to more important things. All right, let's get it started. Welcome in. It is the High Noon Rant. We do this every Monday through Friday since 2021. That's right. 3 years plus and count. No, well, almost 3 years. I think next month. No, August. I don't know, something. Whatever. I'm sure we'll have grand plans for the celebration, the 3-year anniversary of doing this every day, Monday through Friday. It's a rundown of all the day's hot topics, current events. It is stream of consciousness delivered. That means that I just start talking about all the things that are happening in the world today. They're in a list, and we go from subject to subject. It's not just a hodgepodge of random thoughts, but it is delivered with no breaks, no stops, no nothing. We just keep going. We don't, no songs. We're going to play. We're here. How about traffic? We're not going to do any of that. And it's just me free flowing with thoughts. I try to keep, I'm afraid of dead air, although I will utilize the dramatic pregnant pause for certain moments when appropriate. Here's the thing. We are in Pledge Week around here. Oh my God, it's Pledge Week, ladies and gentlemen. Day 2. I'm now just reading the scroll. This style of talk radio needs your support to continue. The goal as of today, 5/3, is $313 in support by May the 8th. I believe that's next Wednesday. That's $313 needed in support by next Wednesday. That's how we do this show. We ensure that the next month is paid for, and then we go from there. And every month we get there. This number, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I have some faith. So yesterday we were at 335, and today we've made some progress, and that's good. And thank you to today's executive producer. That's right, we have an executive producer of this show every day. What does he do? Well, he funds it. The person who tips the biggest on the previous day gets to be the next day's executive producer. And today that honor falls to Peter. Thank you so much, Peter. Your support monthly, and more than monthly. You guys, a lot of you guys pay for this thing. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. That's incredible. We would also like to thank Frank. Frank, he did that thing that he does where he just tips a couple of bucks every day. It's a lovely thing. Treat me like I'm your bartender. You're going to have a drink. You're going to stay for a while. Drop a little something in the tip jar on your way out. Okay, there it is. $313 or something, I think, like that by next Wednesday of doing these shows. All right, now, how do we do this show? We deliver this show in 4 segments. I call them quarters. The first quarter is antecedently on this day. That's a rundown of all the things that have happened on this day. Not all of them, some of them. I cherry pick the ones that I'm interested in, the ones that I think I can propel the stream with, which means things that I can talk about. Quarter 2 is birthdays. You know what that is. Quarter 3 is deads. These are the people who've died, the people dead on this day, the deads. We open up their life's resume and we pull it apart. And we're like, where'd they go, heaven or hell? That's how we do it. Those are the first 3 quarters. They end pretty quickly. We don't spend too much time on those because quarter 4, oh my God, quarter 4 is the one that we all come for. That's the day's topics, the hot topics, the current events, the headlines, whatever it is that people are talking about. Quarter 4 is full of them. That's the bulk of the show. That'll be well over an hour of endless current events driven hot takes and hot topics. Okay. Are you ready? Let's get started. Yay. Once again, introducing myself here. My name is Pugs Moran. Hi. It's the High Noon Rant for the 3rd day of May, year of our Lord 2024. It is the 124th day of the year. 242 more of these until New Year's Eve. So get those New Year's Eve plans started. Need a drink on a Friday? Don't worry, it's just Coke Zero. Chased with hot decaf coffee. Warm decaf coffee. How about that, huh? I ain't had any caffeine in like months. You remember a couple of months back when I was like, I ain't doing caffeine anymore. It started to like, there was one particular day where I had a little too much caffeine and I started to feel a little bit, not a chest pain, not going to say a chest pain, because I'll let you know if I feel a chest pain. You know me, bit of a hypochondriac, but chest pain is not what it was. But it was something. It was something, and I went, boy, I drank a lot of coffee today. So on that day, I decided that I was no longer going to use caffeine. That was probably 2 months ago. Haven't used it since. Still drinking Coke Zero or my Kroger knockoff, but I get the caffeine-free version. And I guess I do get some caffeine because I do drink decaffeinated coffee, and I learned to my shock that decaffeinated coffee has caffeine in it, just not as much. Didn't know that. Why isn't there a caffeine-free coffee? Huh? $1 billion idea number 2. Just totally caffeine-free. Because I believe that there's a lot of people just like myself. I mean, I'm dumb, but I'm not a dummy. I did not know that decaffeinated coffee had caffeine in it until I tried to kick caffeine. And then I looked up decaffeinated coffee and I'm like, what? What do you mean it's still got caffeine in it? So let's make a coffee brand that doesn't. Also, we can integrate with the other idea. My other $1 billion idea was dog food that doesn't make your dog's breath taste like shit. Coffee also makes your breath smell like shit. So how about one research and development team can do both of these because there's crossover here. You know what I'm going to say? Coffee that doesn't make your breath taste like shit, that's caffeine-free. Caffeine-free. It's got to be branded as caffeine-free, not decaffeinated, because now we're going to have to let people know, oh my God, that's extra marketing. Holy crap. This business idea is just evaporating. Yes, because it would rely on people knowing that decaffeinated coffee has caffeine, and I don't think people know that, and so we got to let people know that, so that's going to cost money, and that's never mind. Forget it. Let's go back to the dog food idea. Byron's ever heard of Sanka? What is Sanka? See, yeah, I've heard of Sanka, but I thought Sanka was just decaffeinated coffee. Is Sanka marketing itself as like caffeine free? Because they ain't doing a good job of it. The damn brand should be caffeine free. Cafe free. How do you say freedom in French? Because you want to be like Cafe Liberty. Boom. That's it. All right. No. Now I got to teach people French. Fuck. I don't know. How about just a black can with white, like in nail polish, like written in white nail polish, caffeine-free coffee. That's it. Is that to the point enough without all the razzle-dazzle of Madison Avenue? All right, let's get started. First quarter, it's called Antecedently on This Day. These are all the events that have helped shape our day, shape our understanding of what this day is. Or we could just say previously on May the 3rd. Antecedently on this day, in 1802, Washington, D.C. is incorporated as a city after Congress abolishes the Board of Commissioners. The city of Washington is given a mayor-council form of government. That's great. 1802. I don't know what Washington is. I have no idea what Washington is. It's a place. They got stuff. I have friends who are like, I'm from Washington. And then it's like, but you live in Maryland or you live in Virginia. What do you mean you're from Washington? I don't know what that place is. I've been there like half a dozen times. I don't know what that place is. District of Columbia. Okay, is that what we're calling it? What's that now? What is that exactly? Antecedently on this day in 1948, the United States Supreme Court rules in the Shelley versus Kramer case that covenants prohibiting the sale of real estate to blacks and other minorities are legally unenforceable. All right, so you know what this is? Think about this. Until 1950, black people, you don't want to hear this soliloquy, but hey, you know what? Sure, I live in Texas and I'm a middle-aged white man, but I was born on the south side of Chicago, so I know a little bit about this stuff. The reason bad neighborhoods, let's just call them bad neighborhoods, because I believe that we confuse the term, and I've said this for a couple of days now. I believe that we confuse the term classist with racist, okay? I do. Think that a lot of people are classists. And I think that a lot of people who are classists and just flagrant classists, I think that these people are called racists. And I don't know if that's, Anyway, my point is this. You couldn't buy a house in America if you were black before the Supreme Court had to get involved damn near 1948. All right. So all the black soldiers who went over to World War II, right? And then they came back. And then, you know what happened for the white soldiers after World War II, right? Well, the baby boom, the expansion into the suburbs, the GI Bill, all of that stuff. Get yourself a house. The suburbs were born. America grew up and became badass during that period of time. While your white grandma and great grandma or whatever they were and grandpa were buying houses and setting up a family homestead. I mean, if you were a black soldier who came back from the war, you had to rent. You were not allowed to own anything. You were not allowed to build any familiar equity. There was no way that you were going to be able to sell your house after it appreciated for 50, 60 years the way all of your grandparents did. And then hand that money down to the next generation to pick them up. I mean, that's crazy. That's just a fact. It was on this day in 1948 that the Supreme Court finally said, hey, you got to let black people buy houses. Now, it wasn't a law or anything like black people can't buy houses. No, these were deals. These were covenants made between city governments, banks, and real estate people. You didn't sell, banks were not giving mortgages to black families because of deals they made that were out in the open. They were out in the open deals. They were openly talked about. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. Until 1948 on this day when the Supreme Court said, okay, hold on, stop it. These so-called covenants, these contracts made between banks and people not to sell to black people. Yeah, those are not legal. We can't, that's not enforceable. So, I mean, that's kind of crazy. On this day in 1952, the Kentucky Derby is televised nationally for the very first time on CBS Network. The Kentucky Derby. There was a time in this country around about 1952 where I like to say you could stop any old Joe or Sally on the street and you can ask them 3 questions and they'd be able to answer all 3. Those 3 questions were, who is the heavyweight boxing champion of the world? Oh my God, in 1952, everybody could answer that. Why, it's Joe Louis. I don't know. I wasn't alive then, but I imagine it's Joe Louis. Whoever it was, that dude was known and famous. Question 2 that they would ask, who's Miss America? And they'd all be like, oh, that's Susan George or Phyllis, I don't know, whoever. But if you were Miss America in 1952, the man on the street could name you. Not anymore. And the third question that they might ask you is, name the horse that won the Kentucky Derby. And everybody would be like, oh, well, that's Gallipoli. And again, I think I just made that horse's name up, but you get my point. Those were things that were big, man. So when you look at the change, the culture, the way America has shifted what we're into just over the course of, Some of our lifetimes, not mine, not most of ours, but that's not that long ago. Now those things nobody knows. Nobody knows the heavyweight champion of the world. Nobody can name Miss America. And the Kentucky Derby is this weekend. And I don't know, can anybody that doesn't tune into horse specific stuff? I mean, no, I'm not seeing Kentucky Derby hype the way I used to. And my buddy, he is at the Kentucky Derby. Called me yesterday. He's all drunk. I'm like, you're having fun. He's like, this is great. I don't even care who wins. He was having fun. Good for him. He deserves to have fun. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't know that he was drunk, but he was having fun. He was into the Kentucky Derby moment. I was just doing that for a fact. On this day antecedently in 1957, Walter O'Malley, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, made a decision that was widely derided as one of the most catastrophic and, worst decisions and would ruin Major League Baseball. He moved his Brooklyn Dodgers to Los Angeles. Oh my God, if you listen to the loudmouth dummies of the time, why California baseball? How's that going to work? What do you mean, how is that going to work? California has more baseball teams now than I think any other state, right? Easily. Texas only has 2. What state? Chicago, Illinois has 2. California's got 5 baseball teams. On this day, California baseball became a thing. Walter O'Malley moved the Brooklyn Dodgers there. On this day, antecedently in 1999, the southwestern portion of Oklahoma, this is the Oklahoma City F5, big-ass tornado that went through there. A lot of people lost their lives. Terrible, terrible thing. I watched a thing last night on YouTube. I fell into a YouTube hole because it's tornado season around here. And you know us, we in Texas, we got to be extra frosty. So I started watching some live storm chasers last night. Man, maybe that's something I can do. I couldn't do it. You know what I could do? I could watch storm chasers on YouTube. I ain't going to be a storm chaser. These guys are nuts. I would say, have they ever lived through a tornado? But the answer to that is yeah, because every time I tune in, they're living through a tornado. I've experienced a number of tornadoes. Illinois, Chicago, especially the out suburbs. Man, we get big ones. The Plainfield tornado, remember that one that devastated Plainfield? Anyway, I'm no stranger to tornadoes, and I don't want to be up close to them. I'm really freaked out about tornadoes in Texas because y'all don't have basements. You're in Tornado Alley and there's no basements. At least in the Midwest, we all have basements. Go into the basement. Jeez, here, I remember the tornado. Oh, God, bad weather. It's always like crazy. And you know what else about Texas storms? Thunder is so much louder here. I wonder if anybody else who's moved from some other place, have you been absolutely like pants shit scared from Texas thunder? And I think I've had it explained to me. I think years ago I made this observation, like Pete Delkus or somebody was explaining it to me. It's because of the terrain of Texas. It's flat, and these storms come in, closer to the ground. So the thunder is literally happening closer to my ears, and that's why it's so much louder in Texas. Whereas like when you get into more valleys and rivers and mountainous terrains, it has a different effect. Anyway, thunder is scary here, is my point. All right, moving on. And tornadoes, we're in tornado season, so stay frosty. On this day in 2015, here's a big one antecedently. 2 gunmen launched an attempted attack on an anti-Islam event in Garland, Texas, which was held in response to the Charlie Hebdo shooting. Talked about Charlie Hebdo the other day, about how France has this grand tradition of news satire magazines. These were the 2 idiots that like, what was the story here? Who were these guys? Wait. Let me see who these guys are. I don't remember. I just remember it got shut down right quick. And when this happened, I was in Chicago, and I was like, yeah, that's what happens in Texas. Because, I was missing Texas because I was in Chicago. And I'm like, yeah, they shut that shit down quick. Here, the Curtis Colwell Center attack. The Curtis Colwell Center attack was a failed terror attack on an exhibit featuring cartoon images of Muhammad at the Curtis Colwell Center in Garland, Texas. That's what it was. It was a bunch of y'all troublemakers. Yeah. And now look, I'm glad it ended the way it did. Nobody, but y'all troublemakers, you brought this on. You were like, let's fuck with crazy people. And hey, as they say, fuck around and find out. That's what happened. These guys showed up. But these particular troublemakers, they were prepared, and it ended dare I say, in favor of the good guys? Yes, because the intent of the people who are dead is far more terrible than the intent of the troublemakers. A bunch of troublemakers put that show on, and they got these guys there. You lured them in, and you killed a guy. You killed bad guys, so I can't be upset about that. See, everything is so complicated. What's wrong with the TV? TV's not working. Here we go. Everything's so complicated. Y'all were troublemakers. And you did good. Y'all were troublemakers, but you did good. I don't know. This is why I'm not in politics. All right, moving on. Antecedently, that was in 2015. 2015. That's almost 10 years ago now. All right, let's do it. Next one, quarter two, birthdays. Bonum. They claim it's their birthday. Born on this day in 1903, America loved him. America was dumb because he turned out to be a real dickbag. Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby, born on this day in 1903. There was no bigger star in the world than Bing Crosby. Frank Sinatra, when he was young Frankie was like, I want to be the next Bing Crosby. I mean, Bing Crosby was big. Bing Crosby also was an asshole. He was like really difficult to deal with. Yet his TV and movie persona was like, I'm the nicest guy in the world. Never trust that guy. What? Dog? The dog is moving the camera. Never trust the nicest guy in the world. Never trust him, because inside, he's a monster. And this is all a, hey, buddy. Yeah, Bing Crosby beat the shit out of his kids. Like, brutalized his kids, Bing Crosby. All while your grandma was swooning to him. Bing Crosby, born on this day in 1903. Born on this day in 1933, 30 years later, the good Lord unleashed another hellion on us. In the world of entertainment, James Brown. Yeah. Look at these two troublemakers. The hell? I mean, we could call Bing Crosby the white James Brown. No. You know what? No, we can. Yeah, we can. Because Bing Crosby was an asshole. James Brown was an asshole. James Brown would fire his bands, and he didn't pay him money, and he was a total asshole. Now, it may have been because he was completely high on drugs and shit. He was also good. So was Bing Crosby, I guess. It's not like anybody went, who's got no talent? That Bing Crosby. I don't know. I'm not the Bing Crosby generation. James Brown had talent. I'm more familiar with that generation's critical reviews of his work. Who's the guy that died? Chadwick Boseman. I love Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman played James Brown in a James Brown biopic that I don't think a lot of people saw. It's not that widely talked about, but it's pretty crazy. It's pretty nuts. James Brown was nuts. Happy birthday, James Brown. Born on this day in 1933. Born on this day in 1947. Doug Henning. Where my Gen Xers at? Doug Henning. Here's what I think Doug Henning came from. And I don't know, although I can promise you, I will, during my next bowel movement, probably be reading Doug Henning's Wikipedia page. Because I bet he's interesting. All I can do is I can see Doug Henning's name and I can talk about what he meant to me as a child. And he meant I was probably going to get to stay up a little bit later, because Doug Henning was a magician who would do all the variety shows. And then I think he had his own variety show maybe. But he was like David Copperfield before David Copperfield, but he was also nothing at all like David Copperfield. Like David Copperfield, like magicians of the time, and historically in entertainment were dudes that would come out in tuxedos and top hats, and they looked good, right? David Copperfield kind of brought that back. And why did David Copperfield bring that back in the 80s? Well, it's because in the 70s, Doug Henning hippied it all up with his long hair and his Grateful Dead mustache and his tie-dye shirt and his bare feet. He used to go on TV in like a yoga position in bare feet, and he'd go, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I got to see some Doug Henning. There's got to be some Doug Henning on YouTube that I can see. I now need to see what Doug Henning was all about. Anybody else with me? All right, come for this ride. Dave Henning. Who is Dave? Some new Henning has come by and taken the D Henning category on Google. All right, here he is, Doug Henning. All right, let's see. Oh, okay, this is great. This is a great example. I couldn't imagine a better example of how you would see Doug. Hold on. All right, here it is. All right, so this is Doug Henning from 1975. And this is on the MDA telethon. Oh, man. I used to love the Jerry Lewis telethon. That was the greatest. All right, here you go. So this is Doug Henning as we would have seen him on TV. You can see how he hippied up the whole magic thing and stole a generation's hearts.
This is the fastest illusion in the world, metamorphosis. I need a volunteer from the audience. Would you like to come up here and help me, please? Hi, how are you?
I mean, okay, first things first, can we talk about that music? That music is awesome. He is like bridging all of these different sort of cultural segments. Like that's some jazz music for the people that watched Playboy After Dark in the 60s, right? That's a little something for the olders. Then he looks like a hippie. He looks like he's in the Little River Band. I don't even know what that reference means. All right, continuing on with Doug Henning. Oh, what happened? What happened? You know what? I don't care. Never mind. We don't care. We are done with Doug Henning. Born on this day in 1975, Christina Hendricks, ladies and gentlemen. Christina Hendricks celebrating a birthday today. What do we think? American actress and model. She was Jane on Mad Men. Hubbala. I don't know. My buddy James Parker, he WBAP afternoons. My buddy James Parker, he thinks that she's like the one that God broke the mold on. I don't know. I just recently rewatched Mad Men. Well, I'm still in the process. I think I'm in the final season now. But over the course of the last 6 months, I've been watching an episode of Mad Men here and there. Sometimes maybe, a couple, maybe getting really into it over a weekend and binging an entire season, that kind of thing. But I'm taking my time with it. I'm in the 7th season. So I'm pretty familiar with Jane, Christina Hendricks, our birthday girl. She's hot, definitely. There's no doubt there. Look, I should be so lucky. That's what I'm saying. But when we have these conversations in the fantasy realm where we can have any girl we want and there's no question about that. So if that's the rules, I gotta say, you can. I'm not gonna fight you on that one, James Parker. You can have her. Okay. Just stay away from my Scarlett Johansson. Just stay away from her. We'll be fine. All right. Also celebrating a birthday today. Oh, this is a sad one. Dwayne Haskins is celebrating a birthday today. He was born on this day in 1997. Dwayne Haskins. He died just about 2 years ago. Training camp, or just before training camp. He was hit crossing a road. An ugly, ugly story. Dwayne Haskins would have been still a kid today, but he's dead. All right, let's talk about others who have died. These are the people who've died on this day. These are the folks who have passed on. We're going to decide whether they go to heaven or hell, okay? Oh, God. I don't know. Programming. Resist programming. There's a lot of programming in my head about this woman. because she was very controversial my entire life growing up. And whenever her name was mentioned, it was always used derogatorily. But dead on this day in 1989, Christine Jorgensen. She was, and I don't know. Look, I'm a guy in his 50s. I got no hate in my heart. I recognize that I am irrelevant in my tastes and my push into culture. Gen X, we're done with that. We have to turn it over to the next generation. So things are going to look a little different. We're just going to have to be like, okay, that's different than how we saw things. But okay, kids, take over. That's kind of my attitude. Christine Jorgensen was the first trans woman, transsexual. She had the operation, okay? And she had the operation in like 1950 something. Oh, I mean, she was the first. So we're going to put her in heaven because I don't want, I don't know. Look, she was early adopter to lab-made genitals. I'm just saying that's... And she lived that way for at least 40 years, and I don't know what it looks like. I don't know. All I know is, what do I tell you? Never be the first generation adopter of any new tech. Never. Whether it's the latest model Tesla or the latest TV, whatever it is, man. Here's why. They don't care if the first generation works. They're going to pour a shit ton into marketing in the launch. Everybody's going to want one. They're going to talk about it. News is going to do stories about, look at the line around the block. They're going to get you all there. And they're going to do it without really knowing if it's going to work perfectly or not, because they know they can get you again on the next thing. Never be a first. Always. Why do you think there's upgrade? These things, they get better, right? Anyway, Christine Jorgensen did that with genitals. She was like, okay. They're like, we're going to try something here, Christine. Does that? And then they're like in the lab. They're like, does that look like it? Does that? Oh, it doesn't look like my wife's. Does that look like it? Could be. They didn't know. They were like, what were they using? Like, what kind of materials? They don't even have good materials. Ugh. Everything's like there's screws and latches and shit like that. I don't know, man. I don't know how they did it, but Christine Jorgensen, she died on this day. She was the first woman. She was the first born see, I'm trying. I'm a man in his 50s. I mean no harm. I'm trying. Give me a break. I'm not the enemy. The enemy's out there. You can find them. She was like the first dude. She was born a dude, and then she became a woman, and it wasn't just like a trans woman where she can tuck it. She went and had the surgery, and again, this was in the 50s, and she's got to be in heaven because her life was hell. Why am I peeing out of my butthole? Like, I don't know if they even knew how to connect things properly. The plumbing, like the first time they did plumbing, it was, I don't want to talk about this. Dead on this day in 2007, we're going to take our hats off to this great American hero, Wally Schirra. He's going to heaven. Wally Schirra is an astronaut, he's a fighter, he's a combat pilot, he's a hero. He's an American captain, astronaut. Wally Schirra been to the moon? Maybe. I don't know. I should know. I'm going to say yeah. Wally Schirra. Dead on this day. He's going to... Wally's got to get in line behind Christine Jorgensen in the line for heaven. But they're both getting in. They're both getting in. Wally's military. You know, he might... Wally, don't be a dick to Christine in line. All right. Dead on this day in 2006. Now, this one might be controversial too. Because these are just like rumors. I don't know if this is true or not. This is going to come down to whether or not I choose to believe the rumor. Earl Woods. Earl Woods died on this day. Who's Earl Woods? Well, he was an American colonel. Colonel Earl Woods, if you will. He was also a baseball player. He was an author. He's an author probably because he wrote about his son, Tiger Woods. This is Tiger Woods' dad, Earl Woods. You know what I mean? Like the stories about, you know, how he raised him. He's a rough man. Yeah. Here he wasn't a very nice man. We'll put it that way. He created this monster competitor and his son. And you know what? Quite frankly, there's a story I've been avoiding for the last couple of days. I haven't had it here in the rundown because I just can't bring myself to even discuss it, let alone show it. I know there might be some shows you could tune into that would be like, hey, you want to watch a dad run his 6-year-old into death on a treadmill? Did you hear about this story? Some dad who was like, and there's video of it. This dad just abusing his son by making him run a treadmill. The kid died. His little 6-year-old son. Like just falling down on the treadmill and just completely exhausted. And this monstrous dad. So that's fresh in my memory. So yeah, I'm going to choose to believe the bad rumors about Earl Woods. And I'm going to put Earl Woods in. I'm going to choose to believe. I choose to believe right now. You can choose also whether to believe he deserves to be in hell. Was there books written about that? I'm not sure. Hey, fast outdoor food. We'll call you Foof, Foff, Foff. It's my guy Foff. All right, let's see here. That's it. That's going to do it for the Deads, folks. That's amazing. How great is that? We have gone through 3 quarters so quickly. I would like to once again thank Peter for being today's executive producer. You get to be the executive producer of the show by tipping the biggest. That's right. Every show is prepaid for. And today's show, Peter did that. I'd also remind you guys that we are in Pledge Week. We need help. So the scroll is down there. If you want to contribute in any way, I'm going to leave this up now. You can drop something in the Cash App or the Venmo. Thank you, people. We're going to dwindle this number down. We're at 313 today. We were at 335 yesterday. We're going to hope to get down to 0 by end of show Wednesday of next week. So let's see if we can't get there. It is Pledge Week. Thank you in advance. All right, let's talk about all the stories that are popping around today, the big news stories, the things people are talking about. How about this college campus mess, huh? Everybody's talking about it. No, they're not. No, they're not. College campus story has gone away in the last 24 hours. This news cycle is completely devoid of conversation about the college campus mess. Does that mean that they've stopped? No. You can go on YouTube now and you can watch any number of protests going on around the country. It's that the news media has decided to stop ginning us up. They got bigger things to gin us up about, mostly Trump trial stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just they were back at UCLA yesterday. They were not in the same force, but they were back, and there were other campus incidents around the country. But the news media isn't talking about it now, so they ginned us up. They sold their advertising. They made Anderson Cooper come in early. They did all the things to make us think that this is the most important and pressing story. And then when something shiny caught their attention, they went, oh yeah, never mind. Now, just because they're not covering it doesn't mean it's not happening. But police have now arrested more than 2,100 people during pro-Palestinian protests at college campuses across the United States, sometimes using riot gear, tactical vehicles, and flashbang devices to clear the tent encampments and occupied buildings. One officer accidentally discharged his gun. Oops. One officer accidentally discharged. Yeah, I remember that happened before at Kent State. One officer accidentally discharged his gun inside a Columbia University administration building while clearing out protesters camped inside. I wonder if he was waving it around. I mean, how'd that happen? Look, I don't want to know. I don't need to know. But moving on, eye roll. All right, what else do we got? Israel and Hamas. Okay, so there was something here in this story that I thought we should know about the Israel-Hamas situation. Blinken was there. He's trying to broker a deal between Hamas and Israel. He's using Egypt. Egypt is apparently being very helpful in this whole mess. Israel gives Hamas 1 week to strike a deal or Rafah offensive will begin. Now, this is that deal I was telling you about that was basically created by the Egyptians, a neutral party, and the Israelis. Remember, we talked about the deal yesterday. The Israelis received the deal, the peace deal, and the Israelis said, okay, we accept it. That's fine. Peace. Except, the part about us stopping the war against you guys? Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep bombing the fuck out of you. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready to come into Rafah. But yeah, you guys stop, and that'll be that. That's what Israel said yesterday. So, because Israel is gearing up for this big ground offensive, and it sounds like this is what they want. Probably some real estate developers going, why did we give them the Gaza Strip? Why did we give them the prime beach locations? So they're going to do a ground offensive. It's going to go in. Israel has now offered more about their ground offensive that's coming. Israel has given Hamas a week to agree to the ceasefire deal. Remember the one where they say, we're not going to cease fire. You are, but we're not. Deal? Like, that's the deal. Israel has given Hamas a week to agree to a ceasefire deal, or it will go ahead with its military operation in Rafah. Egyptian officials briefed on the matter said Friday, as the militant group stalls for better terms that would ensure its survival. Egypt worked with Israel on a revised ceasefire deal proposal that it presented to Hamas last weekend, according to Egyptian officials. Hamas's political leadership was expected to consult with its military. Okay, nobody cares. Why are we giving them it's Hamas? It's Hamas. What? It's still a mess. Long story short, still a mess. Trump trial. Everybody is falling over their dicks because it's Trump trial. Day 57. I don't know what it is. Day 11, something like that. I think I heard him say. So what do we got? What's going on in the Trump trial? I don't know. Just like one more like embarrassing piece of... I'm going to call it evidence because I still believe in the institution of the legal system. I know a lot of you don't. A lot of you think it's all, except when it's an accused carjacker. Yeah, that guy did it. Support the police. Let's just talk about Hope Hicks, because really that's the whole thing that's got everybody a buzz in today's Trump trial. Hope Hicks has been Donald Trump's sex kitten. I don't know what we'll call her. She's just another, she's a kid. Well, she's not a kid anymore. Now she's like 35 or something. But she was just a hot chick who looked really good on the surface, but didn't have any of the qualifications for the jobs and the responsibilities she was being given, but only the best people. So whatever. It's all about how it looks. And she looks great. I don't know what to say about Hope Hicks other than she might be so hot that sometimes I don't think she's hot at all. Hope Hicks was the communications director for the White House. Now, also, who is Hope Hicks? Because why do I feel, this is a good question, why do I feel so comfortable, talking about Hope Hicks' look, her physical beauty? Why do I feel so comfortable when today I chose to not do a story about that Gypsy Rose Blanchard girl who got a nose job? Chose not to do that story, chose not to talk about her and her nose job and how she looks now and how she looked then. Chose not to, but I'm going to go after Hope Hicks here. Well, I'll tell you why. Because Hope Hicks is a rich chick who has been handed everything her entire life. You know who she is? No, of course you don't. But Gypsy Rose Blanchard, that chick's been through some stuff. She doesn't need me punching down. She doesn't need me going, hey, look at the fat hillbilly trash in her new nose. That ain't the way I roll. Hope Hicks, she can take it. And, if she's so offended, then her big-time daddy lawyer will probably come after me. Or her dad's a public relations specialist. He's also an attorney. He was the vice president of communications for the NFL for like a whole bunch of years. That's like the dude right under Roger Goodell. You got the commissioner, and then you got the person you got the Goebbels. He was the Goebbels of the NFL. He was in charge of the messaging of the NFL. So he's a big, powerful dude. So Hope Hicks comes from this big, powerful family. By the time she was 15, she was already a Calvin Klein and a Ralph Lauren model. That's what she was. Here, I want to show you some pictures of her, though, because she's got kind of this amazing ability to look like she is posing in a modeling shoot. This looks like something if you were flipping through Vogue and it was an ad for perfume or something. Every time there is a candid photo taken of Hope Hicks, she looks like she's in a Ralph Lauren ad, or she looks like she's, in the advertising pages of Vogue. I almost said Redbook. What is Redbook? And what is another women's magazine besides Vogue? I got to stop saying Vogue. Hold on. But then also, hold on here, I'll show you. That's a good example. Actually, this is not a great example. This is probably the worst picture of her ever taken. Although that's not true. There is another worst picture of her ever taken. But here, I want to show you what I mean by this. All of her pictures look staged, and none of them are. This is probably the worst one ever. All right, look at her. She's that girl in this one. And I say this is bad because it's got it. Look at her. She's got bad legs. She doesn't have good legs. Her legs are kind of, but even if you go like close up on it, her fashion is just impeccable. Let's see. All right, there she is. She's probably just walking into a room. Does her hair just naturally blow back like that? Or is that hairspray or something? Ladies, I have questions. Okay, that's now you get a close up. Now we're getting close up and we're like, okay, there are imperfections. She is maybe not as beautiful as you think, Pugs. Look, not that. Look, I mean, look, I love the dead eyes. She's just got dead eyes. Like she would make Hitler. She could be a great Hitler's girlfriend. She's just getting off airplanes. Nobody gets off an airplane with more panache than Hope Hicks. Look at her. This looks like an ad for the girl on the go. Getting off an airplane again. Look at her in this one. Tell me this isn't a Ray-Bans ad. She's just getting off an airplane. Ladies and gentlemen, Hope Hicks is on the stand today. And we're all very excited about it. Here's why it's going to be interesting, because she knows Trump apparently better than anybody else. I bet she does. No. I think he likes having her around, and I think he likes making her pick things up. Hope I dropped my pencil. I think that a lot of that's going on. Anyway, she's going to take the stand. She's going to talk about when the first time was that Stormy Daniels situation came across. I don't know. I'm so lost on this trial. I don't know what's going on. Here's what I know. A lot of sleazy people, a lot of skanky stuff going on. Skanky, sleazy trial. All right. Let's see here. Jobs are popping off again. I want to read this because then I want to tell you about what bullshit this is. It's the end of the month. Well, it was the end of the month, so we always get these numbers, and they're always like, "Look how great the administration is doing." And look, they're doing pretty good. If being honest, we're not feeling it. But the overall numbers, like the numbers, you can't GDP and all of those things and unemployment rate, they're pretty good. They're better than they were. Stock market, none of them rich folks are complaining. Rich folks are not complaining about the Biden administration. No, they're not. I mean, they're not going to complain about the Trump administration either, but they are not. All those fears, they're going to take all your money, the libs. No, not this one, not Biden. Biden's got the same people feeding at the trough. But anyway, the jobs numbers came out. Employers added 175,000 jobs in April. Oh my God, how great. How many fucking food deliverers do we need? Because them's the jobs that were added. These were all being added through gig, part-time, grinded out slave jobs. The unemployment rate ticked up a bit to 3.9%. This, according to the Labor Department in their report Friday. That marks the 27th consecutive month that the unemployment rate was below 4%. Yay! So awesome that the pandemic created so many what were supposed to be part-time jobs for side hustles that are now primary forms of income. Yay! That's what that shit is. And the number doesn't go up because people looking for real jobs, people looking for grown-up jobs, people doing that kind of shit, they've removed themselves from the job hunt. But do tell me about how it's so great for us in the working class, so great for us in the middle class. We got a big sinkhole issue here in Dallas, Texas. Big sinkhole popped up. Look, man. It's one of the things. And I didn't think I was gonna have to deal with that in Texas. A lot of people are like, Texas is just like Florida. No, they ain't. For two really important reasons. One, Florida's filled with dumbasses, and two, most of Texas you ain't gonna have to deal with alligators. So anyway, but people are always like, Texas and Florida, they're very much like. No, they're really not very much alike. But why then is Dallas now dealing with sinkholes? Sinkholes are one of the reasons why I could never live in Florida. I mean, first of all, going way back, there was a story of a guy and a girl. I remember this from years ago. A guy and a girl were just making out in their driveway, and the driveway collapsed, and they both died, and they never found them. They got swallowed by the earth. Sinkhole, Florida. Then there was another story about a dude who was a construction worker and he was in Florida and he came home from a long day and he walked into his bedroom and he just belly flopped on his bed. He was so tired. He belly flopped on his bed. The floor, the ground beneath him opened up in that moment and ate him. He died. They never found him. They probably found him, but it's a better story if I say they never found him. Then you had just a couple of years ago, you had that entire condominium building, right, in Palm Beach just collapse. Sinkholes. I don't like them. They're fucking scary. And they're not supposed to be here. At least I didn't think they were. But we got them. A 30-foot deep sinkhole has opened up in Dallas County. We should be scared. I'm scared. Dallas County Sheriff's traffic deputies have been called to a massive sinkhole in the southern part of the county. The department responded to a traffic hazard call. Like, could a car just drive into it? We need to watch this. Okay, we got a news story here. Let's watch a news story. Let's watch the pros do it, shall we? Hold on. Where is it? There it is. There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay, here. What is this going to be? Oh, is this going to be Fox 4? We're going to have to thank Fox 4. We're going to get a little Heather Hayes action. She's still on? I don't even know. She is. There's my girl, Heather Hayes. Heather Hayes can party. She's a cool chick. Just so you know, just don't ever think that she's just lame-o. She's cool. All right, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's watch this story here from how do I get it started again? Do I need to do it? All right, I guess I got to do it again. All right, let's reboot that. There we go. All right, now let's watch.
When severe weather hits, we'll keep you forewarned.
All right, Allie. Thank you.
Hey, Dallas.
What is this?
At 11. And the Jennifer Hudson Show.
What are these shows? Are these the shows I'm competing with? Are these the shows that you guys could be watching? The Jennifer Hudson Show? Oh, my God. She's got a show? Can I stop feeling bad for her? Like, Jennifer Hudson is just somebody who in my head, I'm like, oh, that poor girl. She's got a show? I guess she's all right. I guess I can stop worrying about Jennifer Hudson. Her whole family got slaughtered. Yeah. All right.
Right here on Fox 4.
Right here.
And she seems
I
nice.
wanted to quickly note this, just a general statement. The heavy rains have caused a lot of potholes on highways and side streets. And one of the most dramatic examples of that was just posted by the Dallas County Sheriff's deputies in the 1300 block of Malloy Bridge. That hole you're looking at is not a mirage. It's a 10-foot wide hole that goes 30 feet deep, Brandon and Lauren. Again, in the 1300. Yeah, right. I called it a sinkhole in this case.
A pit of despair.
But yeah, again, things like this can happen when you have all these heavy rains like that. And that's about a half mile to the east of I-45 on Malloy Bridge, and obviously some
You guys. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm sorry. They were just talking about where it was.
closures there.
How wide was that?
East of I-45 on Malloy Bridge, and obviously it can happen when you have all these heavy rains like that. And that's about a half mile to the east of I-45 on Malloy Bridge, and obviously some closures there.
How wide was that?
It's 10 feet wide,
like
30 feet deep.
There goes your car.
According
Yeah,
to
there goes your car.
Yeah, no
kidding. Oh.
Okay. Not only that, man, but, okay, so maybe the car doesn't fall all the way in it. You're driving down the road and that thing opens up and you hit it. You're going through the windshield that is a bad accident. That is like, oh my God, that is frightening. All right, there you go. We got a 30-foot sinkhole. Sinkholes, hey, everybody's moving to North Texas. Sinkholes have moved in as well, but still no gators. Don't even tell me about gators in Lake Louisville. That is a very serious subject for us Lake Louisville boaters. You know I am the Commodore of the Lake Louisville Yacht Rock Armada. I'm out there just about every weekend. That's where we live in the summer. We're out there. We're boat people, And there is a very serious conversation that is held among people who are out there all the time about whether or not there are alligators in Lake Louisville. And we don't have an answer. Here's what we have. We have some Army Corps of Engineer pictures that were posted to a government site years ago that show a couple of alligators there at the bridge or the dam. You know where the dam is in Lake Louisville? I believe that's the 35 bridge, and there's the dam right there. There were a couple of alligators, big ones. I don't know, man. I just know that I don't like to tie off near like weedsy areas. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Don't want to go. Don't want to be frolicking in the water. And then somebody's like, hey, that rock is moving towards you. Hey, that's a big turtle. Because you see the big turtles out there. All right, we got sinkholes. I don't want alligators or crocodiles. How about this story? Here's another one. This one comes out of Fort Worth. This is a vape store robbery. We've actually got video of the robbery, how it went down. So I thought we could watch it because nobody got killed. I wouldn't do that. Don't want to show that kind of shit. But here, this is a dude walks into a vape store in Fort Worth. Dallas got sinkholes. Fort Worth got stinkholes. First of all, could probably just, fuel my stream of consciousness rant on the subject of vape shops for the next 10 minutes, but I won't do that. But I will say this. What's up with all the vape shops? Don't tell me that there's no organized crime in this town. How are all of these vape shops staying open? They're obviously laundromats, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, wink. There is a vape shop in every strip mall in North Texas. They cannot that many people do not vape. There is no way. So now, that's just a little taste of what my vape shop rant would be. Here, this is a vape shop in Fort Worth. The dude robs the vape shop. Let's see how it goes down. Here we are. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what this bag right here. Was this like a personal item? Because he seemed to resist giving it to him. I don't know if that's like, does he have a man bag? What the hell? Here, let's see this again. So like right there, they're tugging on it. Now he says, open that bitch up. You think I'm playing? Open that bitch up. Hey, isn't this how like porno shops used to look in the 80s? Is this like porno video shops? Or I'll put it this way. Isn't this how a video shop that had a really extensive porno collection looked in the 1980s? It'd be like, this would be all the normal movies, but then there's a room in the back that is the other half of the building, and it's all just like smut. All right, here we go. Taking some money out of the cash drawer. That's a long walk. I don't know why his back is turned. That's a long walk in a state that is really wild about their guns. You see the way he like just walks? He's like not even. That dude could have a gun under the counter and just start blasting as he's walking out. Isn't that the play? Isn't that what you're afraid of most? That he's got some, you're just going to hit him with a robbery and then you're going to back out. But it's that long walk back. It's the escape. It's the exit. That is the most dangerous. And this dude's turning his back. He's looking now. He knows it. Now he's done. Boom, right there, man. With a shotgun. His back is turned. See, he should still be looking right now. You could be shooting. And he's gone. There you go. All right, there you have it. That's the criminal class, alive and well, here in North Texas. That was what was the name of that place in Fort Worth? And where was it too? Should probably give you a little bit better description. This comes from the Fort Worth Police Department. They posted this earlier this morning. It says, Fort Worth police are looking for a suspect who robbed Vape City at 6435 McCart Avenue. That's Vape City at 6435 McCart Avenue in Fort Worth. Hey, if you know that guy, depending on how you are as a person, call the police or give him a heads up that people are looking for him. What else do we have here? Here's another story that I kind of ignored yesterday, but we'll do it today because it seems to be picking up some steam. A second Boeing whistleblower has died suddenly after claiming there were safety flaws. We talked about the first one a couple of weeks back. This was the New Jersey engineer who was instrumental in the whole situation that Boeing is going through. He just kind of died suddenly. And now this is a second Boeing whistleblower. It says here, Joshua Dean, a former Aero Systems quality auditor, claimed he was fired for flagging concerns about lax standards at the company's manufacturing plant in Wichita, Kansas. His sudden death at the age of 45 on Tuesday came after suffering from a fast-spreading infection, according to his family and lawyer. He was poisoned. Boeing is using Putin-esque tactics. Second Boeing whistleblower is dead. Make of that what you will. You have a brain. Use it. Eurovision. I want to talk about Eurovision here for a second. Do you guys know what Eurovision is? Eurovision is a big, big deal, y'all. Eurovision is like American Idol, but on steroids. And since like 1950, Eurovision is a television song contest. American Idol is a singing contest. This is a song contest. And it's kind of a cool idea. And I don't understand why it hasn't taken off in America. And I'll explain how that could. But what Eurovision does is all of the European countries that are in Europe, all of the countries have like some kind of established broadcast arm of their government, whether it's BBC or whatever. So all of those governments are tasked with finding the best song from that country of the year or whatever, like best songwriter or whatever. And then each country enters a song into this Eurovision contest. And again, this has been going on since 1950, and it is massive. It is like huge in that country, in Europe. I mean, they go nuts for it. It's like the Olympics, and we Americans, we don't know anything about it. A whole bunch of songs that like we know have been Euro contest winners. Not like, crazy amount, but and people as well. Like there have been people who came out of the Eurovision contest. ABBA. There you go. ABBA. ABBA was the reason we know who ABBA is because they won Eurovision in like 1975 or something. Anyway, there's a problem with Eurovision because Israel has a song, and it's about the October 7th situation, and that's the song that Israel has put out there. And the people in Eurovision, they're like, okay, you can do the song, but there's going to be some things we're going to have to do first. So there's all kinds of crazy security, and the Israeli songwriter, it's a girl, her name is Golan something, I don't know, but she has to like stay in her hotel room under armed guard because of the Palestinian-Israeli thing. Now, my first question is, since when is Israel in Europe? I thought, but then I looked into it and it turns out that they've invited Israel. It's all the European countries, but also Israel and Australia. And why not Australia? Australia. They all think they're English anyway, so they should be in it. I think we just had a hiccup with the signal. I apologize. It seems to have written itself. Smee says Eurovision had the Will Ferrell movie based on their competition. Yeah, right? Yeah, there was. Wasn't that? I think. I don't remember seeing that because it looked dumb. But Eurovision sounds dumb. Like I'm like, oh, but then actually I'm like, well, I mean, it is a way to play into people's geographic loyalties, their national patriotism without firing a gun. So that's kind of cool. So here's how you can do it in the States, man. You could totally do it in the States. You could do a version of Euro. Now you could do it with each state. All 50 states could enter a song. I don't think we do it that way. I think instead what we do is we do like the top 25 metropolitan areas, like city area. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like it'd be like, there's the best song out of Dallas. Here's the best song out of Milwaukee. Here's the best song out of Cincinnati. Here's the best song out of New York. Here's, you know, and they just all, I think you could do that. I think that's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, Eurovision. The Israeli performer is causing she's not causing problems, but her very presence and the willingness of the Eurovision people to include the Israel. They were talking about not allowing Israel this year. Like we should, and I don't know if it was, we are not going to allow Israel into the contest this year just because it's too hot. We can't handle that smoke. I don't know if it was that or if it was, we're not going to allow Israel into the contest this year because we disagree with what Netanyahu, I don't know if it was that. But anyway, doesn't matter. It's moot because they allowed him. They allowed the Israeli singer to come on in. I want to get your name though. Let's see here. Is it in Sweden? Yeah. Oh, here's the other thing that's like kind of cool of it. So like it's a huge travel destination throughout Europe. It's like the Olympics, like attending, or maybe with the Super Bowl or something. I don't know. But the host city is the city that won it the year before. And the cities all want to be able to like host the Eurovision because like hundreds of thousands of people, tourists flood into your city and they have budget. It's like a big deal. It's crazy. We don't get it here in America, but it's a big deal there. Israelis have been warned not to go to the Eurovision Song Contest in Sweden amid fears of a terror attack. Authorities fear that terrorists, they don't want European tourists coming. They're like, yeah, or Israeli tourists coming. That's what it was. Let me see the girl. Yeah, a couple of groups apparently have made some threats. Golan. What's her name? What's her full name? She's just going by Golan. All right, I don't know. We're just gonna go with Golan. Golan is the girl singer who is going to be delivering the Eurovision song this year from Israel. And it's about October 7th. What could go wrong? Britney's in the news again. Britney's been in the news the last couple of days because people in her universe, her personal orbit, are saying she's spinning off the planet. She's bickering publicly with her sister, calling her a bitch. Jamie, you're a bitch. She's talking smack about her mom and dad again. She's just recently, and when I say recently, I mean yesterday, her divorce was finalized from that grifter Sam Ashgari, or whatever he was. Remember the guy she was like, she got freed from her conservatorship and then she immediately married the sketchiest dude she could find. She's like, I need a new Federline. And she went and she got herself like this Sam Ashgari guy who was apparently a real grifter. And of course, it only lasted a year and now she's paying him like 50 grand a month just to be the ex Mr. Spears. That's good work if you can get it. I got to be honest with you. That is good work. So her divorce from him was finalized. She's out with her new boyfriend. Her new boyfriend who, here's how they met. It's such a meet cute. He was her janitor. Now he's her boyfriend. This is so meet cute. Yeah. So here's the rom-com I'm pitching. Okay. It's she's a pop star who's a prisoner of her own success. She can't leave. He's an ex-con gun thug with ties to LA street gangs who is rehabilitating himself while working as a janitor at her Hollywood estate. And then they're going to fall in love. Well, that's actually a true story. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's who Britney's hooking up with now. She's like, oh, Sam Asghari, does he have a face tattoo? And now she's with, this guy. And I don't know if this guy has a face tattoo, but it's just another terrible Britney choice. So she was out last night, ostensibly celebrating her divorce being final yesterday afternoon. She's out there with the new ex-con boyfriend, who Richard Solis, I believe is his name. So she's out with ex-con, former janitor, now boyfriend, and they're at the Chateau Marmont. And oh my God, I bet this like, come on, ex-con janitor boyfriend rolling around with her. He doesn't know how to act. I'm just saying, he doesn't know how to act. Let me get classist for a moment. I don't think the LA street gang member with, who did time in prison on gun charges, who then went to become a janitor at Brittany's house and is now sleeping with her. I don't think he knows how to behave at the Chateau Marmont, but it's okay because I don't think Brittany does either. And guess what happened? Big fight, big public fight between ex-con boyfriend and Britney Spears yesterday at the luxurious Chateau Marmont right there on Sunset. Beautiful Hollywood institution, the Chateau Marmont. You got producers, you got billionaires, you got celebrities, you got all kinds of people. Hell, the person bringing you your drinks at the Chateau Marmont might be winning an Academy Award in just a couple of years from now. That place is hopping. And there's Britney with her ex-con, street gang member, face tattoo probably, janitor boyfriend, and they're getting into it. Now, they got into it so bad that apparently Britney came down with the vapors and EMTs had to be summoned. That's right. An ambulance was called to take care of Britney, who I believe was suffering from an extreme case of the vapors. Britney Spears gets into raucous fight with boyfriend Paul Richard Solis at the Chateau Marmont. Ambulance called. She's home now and is safe. All right, let's. We got some pictures we can look at here. Why not? We're trying to understand Britney's life. I don't think we're trying to understand Britney's life. I just, oh God, there's something wrong with her. And I don't think it's just drugs. I think she's nuts. I think she needs serious mental help. And I'm honestly starting to think that maybe that whole conservatorship was something that was done in her best interest. It's not like she wasn't nutty before. Right. And then she was quiet. Then the conservatorship was going on. She was kind of quiet. She wasn't doing crazy things. And now she's doing crazy things again. We are a weekend away from her shaving her head or attacking a paparazzi with an umbrella at a gas station. Remember that one? That was crazy. All right. What is this? Do we got a video we can watch? Okay. Here. Yeah. There's a picture of a frightened Britney. Where? Boom. I'll tell you, man, that Toxic. I'm not very big on Britney, but that song Toxic is a banger. Look at her. All right, here we go. Boom. All right, that's Britney being let out of the Chateau Marmont. I don't know if that's like a fire department blanket. You know how like they put a blanket. She's clutching a pillow. And they're wheeling out. The guy in front of her is wheeling out a stretcher. So it doesn't look like, it looks like she didn't want to go on the stretcher, but she wanted the pillow and blanket. So whatever's going on. Let's see. There's some more pictures. This is Britney Spears last night at the Chateau Marmont. There she is again. And by the way, she got into a big knockdown throw-out fight with janitor ex-con boyfriend, and that's him right there. That's so when all the dust settled and she had the pillow and the blanket from the stretcher from the paramedics, when all that dust settled, she was back there hanging out, being comforted by ex-con street gang gun thug janitor boyfriend. All right. Let's keep looking. Britney, let's see what else do we got here. Okay, that's a commercial. We don't need that. Show me more pictures. All right, so there's the ambulance, and that's the stretcher that Britney did not use. That's where she, I believe, stole the pillow and the blanket. Yeah, okay, so there's a full picture. Okay, so there's the stretcher coming out. Look at her. She's nuts. Look at that blanket. Well, I don't know how well you can see that blanket, but that's not just like an institutional ambulance blanket. That looks like that's nice. It's got fringe on the end and stuff. She's like, no, I don't want the stretcher, but can I have that blanket and pillow? You know the County of Los Angeles is not getting that blanket and pillow yet. Pillow back. Those are now at Britney's house. All right, there you go. That's news in Britney, ladies and gentlemen. She's spinning off this earth again. Keep a good thought. Let's see here. What else do we have today? What else is trending here on the High Noon Rant? Oh, okay. So here, this is kind of a cool story. The Smashing Pumpkins, band that people. So look, let me tell you about the Smashing Pumpkins. So everybody assumes because I'm a Chicago guy and I'm a Chicago music guy and I was, at an alternative station in the 90s when the Chicago scene was popping. So I had access to a lot of things that were, just happening every day in that scene back in that day, that now I could write a book. So a lot of people assume that, like, oh, you must love the Pumpkins. And I'm like, no, not really. I don't really love the Pumpkins. I appreciate them. I like Billy. I think Billy's funny. I think he's a character. I like Darcy. We talked about her. Happy birthday, Darcy Rutsky. It was yesterday. Jimmy Chamberlain, I think, is incredibly talented. Proud of Joliet right there, Jimmy Chamberlain. He was amazing as a drummer. James E, huh? Okay. I mean, but I wasn't a crazy, like when the Smashing Pumpkins were in the Chicago scene and, they were playing with all the other bands that you would go to see, they weren't one of my favorites. And Billy Corgan was in a writing class with me in school, in college. And I remember him being kind of a D-bag. He was the dude that would get up like 20 seconds before class would end so he could stand in the doorway and hand everybody like flyers of where his stupid band is playing. So I'd gone to a couple of, I was familiar with the Pumpkins and all that kind of stuff. All right, I know who Billy is as a person. Like, I know how Billy acted before he was famous. He's a good dude. He's a fun guy. He's just a little bit always in your face. Got a little bit of that wrestling thing in there. Like, oh, come on, man, come on. Doesn't take no for an answer. The grind. That grind. Billy Corgan had that grind. Like, I just made fun of him. He was the dude who jumped up 20 seconds before the end of class so he could stand in the doorway and make sure that every one of his classmates got a smile, a good word, and, hey, why don't you come see my band? There was no shame in his game. John Bon Jovi has the same thing. We were just watching that Hulu special. And I was talking about, man, say what you will about John Bon Jovi, but he wanted it and he took it. That dude grinds. Same with Billy Corgan. So, I mean, I have an absolute respect and a like for the Smashing Pumpkins. But I just feel like there are people in this world who are just crazy about the Pumpkins. They're the best band ever. I'm like, well, I'd put them maybe in my top 10 of bands in Chicago at that time. What? They're the best rock band of all time. Like, yeah, Urge Overkill was way better. Material Issue was way better. Wilco was way better. You wanted to see those bands before you wanted to see Liz Phair, Veruca Salt, Stabbing Westward even. I mean, there were bands that you would see in the clubs in that era. But anyway. But I like the Smashing Pumpkins. I like them. I do. I like them. I just don't love them. I just don't think they're as good as some people think they are. And that's fine. My guy, Kevin Turner, who I'm a big fan of his YouTube channel now, KT Fun Tweets. My guy, Kevin Turner, has I'm just going to call it disturbing affinity for the Dave Matthews Band. Just something we won't bring up. So some people feel that same way about the Smashing Pumpkins. And I don't believe it. Smashing Pumpkins have been looking for a new guitar player. James Eha, he gone. He didn't want to be. I guess he's done with Billy's in your face stuff. But on the last tour that I saw, I went with my son to see him at the American Airlines Center because I'll go see. I love them. They're fine. They're good. Yeah, Pumpkins. Let's go. I just don't love them. They had a pretty good, I don't know who the guitar player was on that tour, but he was pretty good. He was real good. He was great, as a matter of fact. My son and I were both like, he's good. He's playing. He sounds just like him. You're not missing a beat. So the Smashing Pumpkins went out and they got a new guitar player now. Apparently that guy wasn't good enough. He was fine for that tour, but now there's new official Smashing Pumpkins player, and it's Kiki Wong. Kiki Wong, ladies and gentlemen, is the new guitar player for the Smashing Pumpkins. Now, I don't know if you know who Kiki Wong is. I think this is awesome. I think this is really cool. Kiki Wong is a TikToker. Remember how I told you I'm totally addicted to TikTok? Kiki Wong is a guitar player on TikTok, and she is freaking awesome. Now, I know that this is a whole thing, right? The hot girl on social media who is playing guitar for clicks, right? We've seen this. There's a whole bunch of them. I think Kiki Wong might be the coolest. I don't know if she's the best. There's a whole lot of technical stuff going on here. And I'm not a guitar player. But she's definitely the coolest. And that's who the new guitar player for the Smashing Pumpkins is. Kiki Wong. She's very excited. Let me show you some Kiki Wong. Let's watch some Kiki Wong on TikTok. Some of her videos just to get an idea of what kind of flavor she's going to bring to the Pumpkins. Here we go. Yes. All right, here you go. Here's your new Smashing Pumpkins guitar player. And I fully endorse this. I love this. If you're like, oh, what? she's just some TikToker and now she's in the Pumpkins. No, she's a fucking world-class guitar player who let the world know she's a world-class guitar player by utilizing the platform TikTok. But make no fucking mistake, dude, she's a real guitar player. Like, you're always going to get that. Oh, I'm just some YouTube chick now. She's in the Pumpkins. Yeah, she's probably better than James Eha. Oh, that's interesting. Asian. They went Asian. They replaced. Look at that, Billy doing the diversity thing. He saw that, and he made up for Darcy. Darcy's not in the band anymore. There used to be an Asian guitar player, and there used to be a chick. All right, here we go. There she is. I love her faces. Here we go. Let's see what else. No, wait. Is there another one? How am I supposed to? Can I scroll through? Hold on. Wow. Hold on. I hate TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing here.
We're girl guy best friends. Of
Nope.
course everyone thinks we're
That's
dating.
not her.
Guy best friends. Of course my parents are okay with
Oh my God, now we're just going to watch TikTok
Girl guy
because
best friend.
I enjoy watching TikTok videos. No. All right, anyway, here you go. We'll just watch a little bit of it. All right, there you go. I got no issues with that. I think she's got joie de vivre and flair, and she can play. She's a multi-instrumentalist. She plays guitar, she plays bass, and she plays keyboards. That is Kiki Wong. Apparently, her dad is some famous Chinese musician. We don't know about him here, but there you have it. Let's see. There were a whole bunch. I wanted to show you a different video, but for some reason that was the only one that I could access for this feed. So I apologize for that. Dak Prescott is in the news. Dak Prescott, well, we've been in the back of our mind. We've been like, hey, didn't he rape a stripper? Isn't that a thing? Didn't Dak Prescott rape a stripper? Am I making that up? Is that story from a long time ago? He apparently assaulted a dancer in the parking lot of a club. It's been hanging over his head for a while. Well, we got a decision here. Police, there will be no charges for Dak Prescott for alleged 2017 assault. 2017? Jesus. Dallas police will not pursue sexual assault charges against Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott, with a police spokesperson saying Thursday. Detectives determined that there was insufficient evidence and that an offense was committed. The case stemmed from an alleged incident that occurred in 2017 in which a woman said Prescott assaulted her in the back of an SUV in a strip club parking lot. Well, the setting is appropriate. That sounds about right. Where did the sexual assault take place? In a parking lot at a strip club. That tracks. So there you have it, Dak fans. Dak Prescott. He is not going to face charges. Go Cowboys. Who cares about the truth? I don't know. Now, 2017 is that rookie Dak? That's like young Dak. I don't want to get into it. But what exactly? I'd like to see the specifics. I haven't been following this story because it's like 10 years old at this point. What is he accused of doing? Full on sex, hold her down, I'll kill you, that kind of thing, or is it just he got too fresh? You're in a parking lot of a strip club. Don't you expect fresh to be incoming? I mean, it's everything about this situation suggests that somebody's going to get laid. That's just not that's right if she didn't want it. I'm just saying, moving parts to a lot of these. And, Dak Prescott was a young man with a lot of money. So who knows? Let's see. Let's keep going. Hollywood Squares. Hollywood Squares is back. How you wanted it. You wanted it, America. Hollywood Squares is back. Now I go back. I think I'm first generation Hollywood Squares. That's the Paul Lynde Hollywood Squares. That's like me when I'm like 5 years old, eating my TV dinner in front of the TV, and it's Paul Lynde and Peter Marshall and Rip Taylor and like Skip Stevenson, whatever. Like if you were like D-list. Anyway, Hollywood Squares is coming back. They're bringing it back to TV, and guess who the new host of Hollywood Squares is? You can't keep her down. She's cringy as fuck, but my God, does she cash them paychecks. Ladies and gentlemen, the new host of Hollywood Squares, Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore. She's the new host of Hollywood Squares because she's so witty. Well, I guess that is the game show where the host can be just a basic bland robot, which is what they got in Drew Barrymore. She is so cringy. Ugh. So she's going to host it, and you just know this new Hollywood Squares. If you're like me, you're going to know nobody. It's just going to be like a bunch of YouTubers and TikTokers and video game players. It's going to be, this is what Hollywood Squares is. Change the name, man. Change it to like TikTok Squares or YouTube Squares or something like this, because none of these people are actors. None of these people are professional entertainers. They're all TikTokers and YouTubers, which, good for them, but it ain't what we're being sold when you build a show called Hollywood Squares. Anyway, that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be a bunch of people I don't know. And then my son, like, it'll be on somewhere, and my kid will be like, you don't know who that is? And it's going to make me feel this big. And be like, no, I don't know who that is. Like, you're so stupid, Dad. How do you not know who that is? I'm like, like the biggest Fallout player on YouTube is all. I'm like, okay, what does that even mean? What do you mean biggest Fallout? That's what's going to happen. That's what we're in for with the new Hollywood Squares. Wish you luck, Drew Barrymore. How about a little bit of Patrick Beverley news? That's right. Everybody's least favorite NBA player, Patrick Beverley. I like the Bucks, so I'm not like, I like the Bucks. I like that the Bucks are done. Okay. I like that the little reign of the Bucks only lasted a few years. That's fine. Glad that they're done. Don't need the Bucks turning into, the Bucks have always been the Bulls' little brother. They're just like a couple of miles away and same fan base, basically. A lot of overlap between people who live in the southern Milwaukee suburbs and, the northern Chicago suburb. A lot of those people. So Patrick Beverley plays for the Bucks. They were eliminated last night by the Indianapolis Pacers, and Patrick Beverley, he had himself a bit of a tantrum. Patrick Beverley comes from the west side of Chicago. That's like, woo, boy. He comes from the hood, man, Patrick Beverley. So he's got a little bit that fight in him. And also, he's never been, right, like Pat Beverley, didn't he spend like half his career in like Greece or something? Like he came to the NBA late. Like he went from college, I think he went to Arkansas. He went to college, and then he was like immediately in like the European League or the Greek League or whatever. And then he came to America, and he stuck with was it the Clippers maybe, where he first stuck? And he's a great defensive player. He plays with passion. He's a gnat. He's a pain in the ass. He's got all the stuff that Rodman had back in Rodman's day with, maybe a quarter of the talent. But he's good. There's not a lot of guys with Dennis Rodman style defense. But he's good. He's one of the better defenders in the league for sure. So, and he plays with passion. So last night, this is what happened. He's a dick. Everybody knows he's a dick, and this is what he did. I want to play the whole thing. We'll break it down. It was an incident involving a fan. There's actually 2 tapes that we're going to show here. This is the incident involving the fan. This is as the Bucks are being eliminated by the Pacers. This is the very end of the game. We will show it to you, and we're going to have to break it down. He throws a ball at someone in the crowd, and he doesn't like toss it like, hey, you're a good fan, here's a souvenir. No, he doesn't do it like that. He whips the ball at him like, come on right now, like getting aggressive with the audience. We'll watch this. Here we go. All right, so here we go. The game is over. It's 114-94. Milwaukee is being absolutely blown out. The Pacers are on their way to moving on. This is the end of the game. 2 minutes, 32 seconds left. I'll show you where Patrick Beverley is. Okay, so right here we go. See, this is Pat Beverly. And see, he's got the ball right here. See it? And he's going to throw the ball just to someone in the audience that isn't looking, or in the fandom bracket. What do we call this? What is this? Audience? What do you call it? Crowd. Someone in the crowd. There you go. So he's going to throw this ball to someone in the crowd. Here we go. Watch it again. And not like, hey, throw me the ball. Again, this is like, I'm going to fucking hit that dude in the head. Watch. Here he goes. Boom. Did you see him? He like totally whacks these ladies in the side. These ladies never saw that damn thing coming. Watch those ladies. Here we go. One more time. Bam. One more time. Here it comes. See, there's the ball. Here's the ball right here. Okay. Here's the target. These ladies, these Pacer fans, right? And it's him. This little asshole. He just throws it at him. He blindsides these women. Looks like he's about to get tuned up by a dude in the audience who doesn't play. So here, we'll watch it again. We'll watch this play out. Here comes the ball. Bam! All right. Now. Oh, you're not even showing it. God damn it. Sorry about that. Here we go. Here we go. We'll do it again. All right. All right. See the ball? Yeah. Okay. See, the ball is in the air, and it's going to just blindside these women. Bam! One more time. Bam! The ladies in the yellow. Bam! Bam! He's got no reason to be doing that. He's a dick. Those are Pacers fans. He's just trying to hit women with a basketball. Now, this dude right here, see this guy in the middle? He don't like that. And it's gonna be on. But P-Bev, he ain't done. That's just the first one. Watch what happens next. They throw the ball back to him. He's like, give me the ball, sorry. Or whatever he's saying. And then he's right here. Right head there. Give me the ball. Takes the ball, bam! And fires it right back at him. One more time from the beginning. Bam! Now give me the ball. Come on, get it. Come on, sorry about that. Give it. Yeah. Bitch! All right. Now, Big Dude. Big Dude is like, what the hell is going on here? So let's watch what Big Dude's getting into. Big Dude's now barking. We got to hold Big Dude back. Who's holding Big Dude back? The cops. Because what are the cops going to do? Cops probably going to throw all these people out. Oh, y'all got to go. I mean, it's only 2 minutes anyway. The game's going to be over. They get a head start. But still, these people didn't do anything. Big Dude, he's like, I want a piece of him. He's still barking at him. I'm telling you, man, that might be Chris Lytle. Look up Chris Lytle online. That might be Chris Lytle. Because he's like a huge celebrity in Indianapolis, and those are like celebrity seats. These are like, Indianapolis County's #1 Ford dealer. He gets those seats, for him and his friends, his golf buddies. Larry Bird, maybe. I don't know. Who else is a celebrity in Indianapolis? John Cougar Mellencamp, should he want to attend a game. And he's barking. He's barking at P-Bev. P-Bev's still going, yeah. And this dude's like, I'm going to kick your ass, dude. You play basketball. Look at me. You kill people. Look at the dude's shoulders. I mean, it's like, this is legit. This is a legit threat. He's really close. If this dude wanted to just go all berserker, he would just, you know what I mean? Like even the cop's like, okay, what are we dealing with here? This guy looks like he could tune me up. And again, I've watched this a number of times. This guy didn't do anything except be the biggest, scariest guy in the area when something went down. They all are just like, he stood up a little and he's kind of getting it, but he didn't really do anything. He's just sitting there. And the cops have to pay extra special attention to him because he looks like somebody that they might need to handle a different way than maybe one of these student dwarfs. All right, well, there you have it. There you go. That's Patrick Beverly. That is what we'll be calling the incident. But now Patrick Beverly also then gave an interview in the locker room after the game. And, I think it's good if he could be, apologetic. Hey, look, there's no room in that. There's no room in this sport for that. I play with a lot of passion. This is heartbreaking. We lost. I'm really sorry. I hope they're okay. I'm gonna find out who they are, and I'm going to apologize to them directly. There was no room for that, and I do apologize. Would have been great if he did that. Nah, he didn't do that. Here's how Patrick Beverly acted in the locker room after he doing exactly what we all just saw. Is that even English? I don't know what I just said there. After he doing exactly what we saw. Here we go. This is how he acted.
Yeah. You subscribe to my pod?
Do I subscribe to you? I do not.
So you can't interview me then. No
Okay,
disrespect.
well, Jamal,
No
is he-
disrespect.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Again, there were a couple times within a bucket or two. In previous games, y'all have been able to kind of get over that hump, or maybe. Was it anything they did in particular, or was it just one of those where the bucket didn't go down, there wasn't the stop, they made one? What kind of prevented that? You all.
Well, she's trying to get the mic in there, and he won't allow the microphone in because she doesn't subscribe to his podcast.
From being able to get over, kind of like you have in the past.
You move that mic, please, or just get out the circle, please, for me, please, ma'am. If you're not subscribed to my pod, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Here.
Excuse me, I'm
I'm
sorry.
wondering how the NBA feels about that he will only talk to reporters. One of the prerequisites to speaking with Patrick Beverly now is going to be, do you subscribe to his podcast? That dude is prime asshole. That is everything that sucks about young athletes. That dude's a dick. Can't control his passion. You could be look, Michael Jordan, nobody had more passion than him. He never did that. Can't control yourself, then you're not big boy. You can't play in the big boy league. That's some bullshit. Imagine those old women. Those are like two dumpy Indiana fat ladies, and they just got blindsided by a ball. That's somebody's mom. That's some teenager's mom sitting there. It's fucked up. He's a dick. All right, what else do we have here? What else is happening in the news? The Kentucky Derby. Kentucky Derby is this Saturday. Nobody cares. Do you guys care? Does anybody care about the Kentucky Derby? I have no idea. I have no clue. I got a friend who's there. I've talked to someone who is actually at Churchill Downs twice in the last 24 hours, and I have not once even asked him, is there a horse I should be talking about? Is anybody? I don't know. The Kentucky Derby. It's like the one horse race any of us have ever seen. Not me. I mean, I've been to a lot of horse tracks, but most people don't. Hang out at Lone Star. They don't. It's fun. I like horse racing, but I don't know much about it. I just like it. I like the horses. I'm like a pretty girl to like a mafia dude. I just go to look at the pretty horses. I do. Watch the pretty horses and drink with rich dudes because that's where a lot of rich dudes hang out. Point is this. The Kentucky Derby is the only race most of us have ever seen, unless a horse won the Derby and then we thought they were going to win a Triple Crown. Then maybe we watched the Preakness and the Belmont, or was it the Belmont and the Preakness? I don't know. That's how little I know. I just like the pretty horses. All right, the Derby is Saturday, and it's a thing, and it's going to happen. I'm sure on Monday I will tell you the name of the horse that won the Derby and then was tragically put down an hour later. I will have that name of that horse on Monday. Okay, here we go. So, what to watch? This weekend, there's a lot of new movies out. One of the ones that I was most interested in was the new Jerry Seinfeld directed film, for which Jerry Seinfeld. That's how it's been this week. Jerry Seinfeld, he's been everywhere because he's promoting this new Netflix movie called Unfrosted, which is the story of Pop-Tarts because the world demanded it. Unfrosted has an insane cast of characters and special cameos and all that. I mean, everybody's in it. And everybody wishes that they weren't because it's getting shit reviews. It is being called one of the worst films. I don't know. I'm seeing. Let me give you an example. All right, so I found this one. I read two of them this morning. This one, though, I thought was really, really spectacular in its takedown from a guy who's, a Seinfeld guy. This comes from Richard Roper, a national critic. He says on the subject of Unfrosted, the new Jerry Seinfeld film. It says here, I'm just going to read you this because I love this is an old-timey film review. This is the way they used to be. We experienced an explosion of corporate origin story movies in 2023. From the 4-star titles Air was good. Air was good. That was the story of Air Jordans. From 4-star titles Air and Blackberry was good too, real good, to the creative and inventive Tetris and the appropriately silly and funny The Beanie Bubble. The Beanie Bubble was stupid. I didn't get into that. I watched like 2 episodes and I was like, nope, gonna move on. To the formulaic Flaming Hot. Flaming Hot is about the guy who wasn't he a janitor at Doritos, and he was like, you should make them hot. And then I don't know how you're supposed to reward that guy, but is that what the movie's about? I heard it was dumb, didn't watch it. And Richard Roper calls it formulaic. The formulaic Flaming Hot. Richard Roper goes on to say, the latest entry in the brand name genre is Jerry Seinfeld's Netflix movie Unfrosted, an astonishingly unfunny, deeply weird live-action cartoon that is so clear the room dreadful, it almost plays like a horror movie. Whoa! Whoa! Good Lord! What? I'm surprised, Richard Roper goes on to say, I'm surprised that director, co-writer, producer, star, Seinfeld, one of the sharpest and most observant comedic minds of his generation, didn't halt production halfway through, call time of death, and apologize to everyone for wasting their time. Unfrosted is so consistently awful, it makes the aforementioned Flaming Hot seem like The Social Network. If there was a thing called the IMDb Witness Protection Program whereby you could get your name taken off the credits of a particular project, this would be that project. Whoa, my God. Holy balls. That is crazy. Brandon's here. My old guy, Brandon. Great rags to riches story. What's a great rags? Brandon, what's a great rags to riches story? What are we talking about? Did I miss it? Is it which one? I get it. Brandon loves all these movies. So do I. That's one of the things any kind of these origin story movies about dudes who were hustlers and idea men. We both like them. Oh, Flaming Hot. He says Flaming Hot. Yeah, I thought he was a janitor. I don't know. I didn't see that one. Brandon, good? Good or bad? You tell me. I don't know. Okay, a couple other things that I wanted to talk about here. We're across the 2 o'clock line. So let's get into some dumb shit. First, I want to talk about here, let me show you this. First, I want you to watch this. This is a dude. I shared this on Twitter, but it's an amazing piece of video. And it's so cringy. It's the absolute, it's a horror. Let me show you. I call him Rich Idiot. And he's got a new Cybertruck. So that's what we're gonna do. We got a new Cybertruck, and I guess one of the things about this. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. One of the things about the Cybertruck is that the trunk, it closes automatically. The trunk or the frunk, I guess it's in the front, and it closes. You don't have to shut the lid. You know what I'm trying to say? It's fancy, stupid shit. Okay, here we go. So one of the things is that the frunk, which is a front trunk, it'll stop if you get your finger caught in there. So this guy's going to try it out. This guy's going to say, well, Tesla says that this won't cut my finger off, so let's give it a try. And before he does it, he puts a carrot in there to see if it snaps the carrot. He does all the stuff. Let's just watch. This will be fun. Hold on to your balls. This is,
the finger. Without further ado,
nope, they're not gonna.
We'll return after these messages.
With just a software update, the Tesla Cybertruck frunk is way safer. We witnessed it destroy a ton of vegetables, and then post-update did nothing. but it did cut off the tip of a carrot. So people are concerned if you put the tip of your finger in a Cybertruck, it's going to come off. Try it. Let's try something a little bit bigger first, like my arm.
Oh, okay.
Very easy. It put a little bit of pressure. Nothing too bad. How about my hand?
No.
That's getting a little bit scarier. It put some pressure. There's a line on it. Nothing too bad. Everybody's been waiting for this. The finger.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm white as a ghost. Oh my God. Now he's doing the finger. We saw it snap off the tip of a carrot. He's gonna do his finger now. He's up for clicks, for video clicks. Rich idiot. Let's see how this works out.
Finger. Without further ado.
Yeah, see his finger is stuck in there, and he's in an immense amount of pain right now, and it is not going back up. The lid has closed on his hand. Rich idiot.
I feared for my finger for a second, not gonna lie. That's kind of bad.
Look at that dent. That's kind of bad. Yeah, it is. It is when they're telling you that that's definitely not going to happen. So it didn't cut it clean off, and that's okay. Give you points, Elon. Good for you. But holy shit, man. That's what I mean about the promises of first generation. Put your dick in there. I want to see that video. Nope. No one's going to do that. Actually, there'll probably be a line of fucking perverts willing to do that. The world is filled with weirdos. All right, what else do we have? That's Rich Idiot. Oh, okay. Okay, so this isn't a story or anything, but this is an incident that I found myself getting into on social media. It's happened before, and it's kind of gotten dusted up again. Not to terrible extremes, but enough so that a person DM'd me and we got into it. Like, took offense. And it's over something so stupid. But maybe from my social media, whether it's on Facebook or wherever, Twitter, I still call it Twitter. I'm a pizza snob, okay? I'm a pizza snob. I feel like I have, in the course of my life, experienced the best pizzas in the world. I have a very high standard on what a sauce needs to taste like. I have a very high standard on how a crust needs to rise. I have very high standards when it comes to the ingredients you put on top of your pizza. I am a pizza snob. Okay. So there was a thing going around on local Dallas Twitter, and I just have to tell you, Texans, that it's one of the most disgusting things, and I can't believe that it's so embraced. You people who put ranch dressing on your pizza. Those are two completely different flavor palettes that you should be going for. But unfortunately, I don't think any of you have true Italian pizza. I think if you're putting ranch on your pizza, it's because you're having mall pizza, or you're having pizza that is essentially at the level of mall pizza. You've just been normalized into thinking it's good pizza. We have the worst pizza in Dallas-Fort Worth. There is no good pizza. It is all, first of all, look, I like Chicago-style tavern pizza, right? So that's a kind that I like, tavern-style pizza. It's starting to make a comeback. We're starting to find it, not a comeback, but it's starting to actually be somewhere outside of the south side of Chicago for a while, right? We got real tavern pizza. That's good. But 95% of all the pizza that is here in Texas is a New York-style pizza base, which is fine. There is really good New York-style pizza. You can get really good New York style pizza. What is that? That's a flimsier dough. It's cut into giant pie pieces, and you eat them one big piece at a time. Very good. Sauce is good. Cheese is good. I don't like the dough or the crust to be that flimsy and greasy, but okay, that's an acquired taste. You can get good New York style pizza, just not in Texas. There's not even anything that's passable here. It's all so greasy, and the tomato sauce, the Italian seasonings are completely absent. It doesn't taste at all the way pizza is supposed. So maybe that's why you put ranch dressing. But I was so mad. Everybody started being like, what do you mean you can't put ranch dressing? I put ranch dressing on. They're two completely different things, man. That'd be like eating lobster and putting ranch dressing on it. They're two completely different things. So I maintain that if you put ranch dressing on pizza and you think the ranch dressing enhances the flavor of the pizza, then you're not eating good pizza to begin with, and you're probably right. The ranch dressing does probably make that garlic seasoned bread with some kind of generic Italian sauce that doesn't cross over too many of the cultural boundaries of the Italian sauce wars. It's not too sweet. It's not too savory. It's not Sicilian. It's not Palermo style. It's not New York style. So it's just American red Italian, the kind you'd get at Wendy's or Sbarro. Ugh. This place, I am craving pizza, and there is no good pizza in this town, and it's starting to make me nuts. Al Gamboa says Guy Fieri has a great dressing to put on pizza. It's sold at Walmart. I have no doubt. I have no doubt that Guy Fieri has. He is the king of trash eating, Guy Fieri. Am I even saying his name? I mean, and by the way, I don't dislike the dude. I think he's, I roll my eyes at him because he seems like kind of, he's checking a lot of douchebag boxes from the Frosted Tips to the, I'm just saying. But he seems like a good guy. I get it. That's his brand. That's how he's got to, look and dress. But he's not like, he's like, these are the best buffalo wings. That's not exactly really good dining. He's not, I wouldn't trust him on that stuff. Says there was a Chicago style place in Addison that was really good. Yes, there's been a lot. There still are. There's a lot of Chicago style places here, and they all suck. They're all like, what? Just suck. There used to be a place, maybe it's the one you're talking about. I mean, they're not terrible. Like if you want, unfortunately in Texas, when it says Chicago style, they're talking about deep dish stuffed pizza. And that's tourist Chicago style. That's what tourists think. Chicago style, real Chicago style pizza is the stuff that we eat twice a week. It's the stuff that we order every Friday, and that's thin tavern style. Thin crust, really thin and crispy, tavern style. Now, when the relatives from Ohio come into town over summer, that's when we get the Giordano's and the Lou Malnati's and the tourist pizza. We like it. It's good stuff, but we don't eat it every month. You can't have it every week. So, unfortunately, whenever, there's a new Chicago style place, it's always just bad stuffed pizza. It's just like, oh, you're doing a stuffed pizza. You're just cooking your pizza in a pot. And you're calling it Chicago style. It's not the same. There is a place in the far north suburbs, like far north Plano, somewhere off 75, that is very good. It is very good. They know what they're doing. I don't know what that place is called, but that place is very good. The problem with it is that it's so far. It is so far. It's like, I don't want to go that far. That place is good. I've had a stuffed pizza from that place, and I've gone, whoa, okay, this is in the ballpark. This is good. Let's see here. Guy Fieri, Adam says, is a French-trained chef. He knows good food. I love diner, drive-in, and dives. Okay, if you say so, but when I want the best tater tots in Mississippi, he's going to be my guy. So I don't give a shit what his background is. I'm talking about what his brand is. But fine. He's not. We'll move on. Smee says, oh, this I think is mimicking Giordano's at this place where you have to eat it with a fork and knife because it's massive. Well, I mean, you can mimic Giordano's but there's a whole bunch of like stuffed pizza places that are all, I guess you could say, mimicking Giordano's. Lou Malnati's. My personal favorite is Pequod's. I think that's the best pizza place in America. And that's really good. You really want to impress your relatives from out of town with stuffed pizza. You're taking a Pequod's. That place is crazy good. It's on DePaul's campus. I mean, I don't know. I'm a snob. So, I mean, it might be in the ballpark. It's like, oh, this is in the style of Chicago stuffed or Chicago deep dish. Louis on Henderson does tavern style pizza. Louis on Henderson does the absolute finest example of what a true Chicago pizza is, or what I would consider a true Chicago pizza. Louis. And it's crazy expensive because they do it the right way. and there's not a big market for it. And by that I mean they import water. They import water from Chicago, which a lot of pizza people, they tell you it's the water. You have to bring the water down. But not only that, but they use all the fresh vegetables and nothing from a can. Everything, all of the pizza places that we're used to now, the Domino's, the Little Caesars, it's all sauce from a giant tin can. Whereas real pizza places have a giant pot on the stove at all time with their house version sauce. And that's why there's so many of them, because all the sauces taste just slightly different. And I like this pizza with that sauce. I like the mix of that kind of cheese that they're using with their house sauce. Their sauce is hot. Their sauce is savory. Their sauce is sweet. I'm a sweet sauce guy. I love Palermo sweet sauce. And that's a sweet Italian sauce that comes from the Palermo region of Italy. And because of the way the tomatoes grew there, it's a much sweeter sauce. Pizza snob, don't put ranch on your pizza is just my last words to you. Don't put ranch. Actually, no, I'm sorry. If you're ordering pizza here in Texas, feel free to put ranch on it. But it's because that's not real pizza. My God. Your pizza should be so good. There should be so many flavors that just drenching it with ranch and overriding that whole thing with the flavor of ranch, which I admit is delicious. Ranch is amazing. But if you need to do that, then the pizza isn't good to begin with. Really good pizza doesn't need ranch dressing as a help, is all I'm trying to say. By the way, you want to know something else about ranch dressing? How crazy is this? Unrelated to this issue. But I am now a historian on ranch dressing. I learned the total history of ranch dressing the other day. I don't know why. It's just something that I know now. For instance, you want to hear mind-blowing? So when you think of ranch dressing, I go to the store, I buy Kroger ranch. It's Kroger, it's a ranch dressing, I buy it. I didn't know that there's only one actual ranch dressing. There's only one. If you go to Whataburger's, I love Whataburger's ranch. That ain't ranch dressing. There is only one ranch dressing, and that's Hidden Valley Ranch. And the story is some dude in the 1950s who worked on pipelines in Alaska, he opened up a feeding house up in Alaska for oil well workers and everything. And he just made up a salad dressing. he just made it up. And he called it ranch dressing. And because he'd always dreamed of retiring and buying a ranch in Southern California. So he called it ranch dressing. So then he ends up, he retires. He retires from the oil fields or whatever they have up there in Alaska. And he buys his dream. He buys a little tiny ranch in Southern California, and he turns it into a little restaurant where people can come and they can stay on the dude ranch, and they get bedrooms there, and then they make some food and stuff. And he took this ranch dressing that he had introduced to these oil workers in Alaska in the 1950s, and he brought it down to this place, this ranch that he bought in Southern California. Oh yeah, the ranch was called the Hidden Valley Ranch. Whoa! So lo and behold, some fancy Hollywood folks, they start coming to this place and they're like, oh, do tell that dressing. And so he started a mail order business where you could, write him a letter and he'll send you a little thing of the dressing. You had to add, yogurt or something to it, but whatever. And that's how I thought Hidden Valley, this is where my mind got blown. I thought Hidden Valley made all kinds of dressings. I didn't think Hidden Valley was only known for one dressing. I thought Hidden Valley, what other dressing companies are there? Kraft, I guess. Seven Seas? Is Seven Seas another? What do they make? Do all of these dressing companies only make one kind of dressing? Because Hidden Valley makes Hidden Valley Ranch. Now, for years, it got really popular. It suddenly became really popular. And it really, though, it didn't start to get super popular until the 80s. But it was, anyway, in the 80s, it took off, ranch. But then everybody came in and they started making their own ranch. So for years, it had to be called ranch style dressing. But now everything's called ranch. But don't get it twisted. If you're not eating Hidden Valley Ranch, you're not eating real ranch dressing. You're just eating a knockoff. How interesting is that? How interesting. No idea how I fell into that. I think it started with potato chips. Because I was researching potato chips. So it started with potato chips, and I imagine at some point they started talking about ranch flavored potato chips, and I clicked on that, and then it said Hidden Valley Ranch, and then I clicked on I don't know what I was doing. I was probably, I don't know. I got nothing else to say. That's basically it, folks. I think that's going to do it for this week's show. I appreciate you, this week's group of shows. Got my kid coming tonight. That's going to be fun. I love my weekends with my kid. I got 2 weekends in a row with him. Next weekend's his birthday, so he gets to come back. We're very close. We're very close. We don't miss each other, so it's not like, these weekends are like, oh, I've missed you so much. It's not like that. It's at this point everything is taken for granted. It's like, yeah, Dad's gonna be here at 7. So here's what's gonna happen. This is where he's at now. He's gonna be 15 next week. 15, and he is a full-blown 15-year-old. Oh. They're the worst. They're not the worst. I think the worst was maybe 12. I think 12 was really bad. 12 was like, eh. But he's at the stage now where he's trying to be cool all the time. And no matter what, actually, that's not true. I was going to say no matter what, his dad isn't cool. But I think he actually thinks I'm kind of cool in some areas. I don't know. Anyway, my point is this. I'm going to pull up and I'm going to pick him up tonight. And I'm going to look and the door's going to open and I'm going to be sitting in the car and he's going to come walking down the steps from his house. He's going to have headphones on. He's going to have his backpack and he's going to have sunglasses on and he's going to walk. He's not going to make eye contact with me. He's going to go around to the back of the car. He's going to open the trunk. He's going to throw his bag in the trunk. He's going to shut it shut. He's going to come around to the driver's or passenger side. He's going to get in the car. He's going to sit down. He's going to look at me and he's going to go, "What's up, dude?" And then he's going to look at his phone and that's going to be it for like the next 5 minutes. That's what I'm doing. That's a 15-year-old just giving me the "What's up, dude?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what's up, dude? I'm your father. I'm here to pick you up for the weekend. What? Don't what's up, dude me." 15. Too cool for the room, these kids. Actually, I shouldn't be that. I shouldn't be that. He's actually not entirely like that. But I'm telling you, it's starting to drive me nuts with these kids, how they can't go for a ride. I like riding in the car. Some of our best moments occurred in the car when we were just clowning on people. And now we can't clown on people. We can't make fun of people walking down the street. We can't look at girls. Look at her. What do you think? We can't do any of that stuff. The good father-son stuff. We don't do that anymore because he's watching YouTube with Bluetooth headphones in. Oh, and that's the other thing. He's got I guess it depends on moods. What's with these kids today? It depends on their mood. Like he's got earbuds that he puts in that I don't even know they're in. They're like stealth. And he can be like sitting there staring at me and I'm lecturing him on something. And I don't even know that he's got these tiny little buds in his ears. He's got those. But then he's also got his preferred big, giant, clunky Beats headphones like from the 80s. So it all depends. I guess it all just depends on whether he wants me to know that he's ignoring me or not. That's because that's the consistent thread. He's going to be ignoring me the whole time, but it's just a matter of, is he going to make me think that he's listening by having the earbuds in that I can't see? Or is he just going to flat out wear the giant headphones and just big you to my face? What? I can't hear you. That's the other thing that he does that I love. Whenever I make him take the headphones off, he acts like taking the headphones off is like this, the action of just taking headphones on and then taking them off. Like he'll, what? I'm like, oh, was that difficult? Was that so difficult for you to do? Taking your headphones off? Sorry. Chuck Nelson says, my daughter turns 15 in a week and a half. Yeah, mine's 15 in a week. A week and a day. So look at that. We're almost the same. Bye, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Peter's today's executive producer. We thank you so much for your duty. Frank says, get him a Smashing Pumpkins shirt. He's already got one. He bought the concert shirt. Oh, no, he didn't. He bought the Jane's Addiction shirt, which I thought was pretty cool. I took him to the Jane's Addiction Smashing Pumpkins concert, and we both like Jane's Addiction better. Thought it was, as a band, I like Jane's Addiction better than I like the Smashing Pumpkins, but I don't dislike the Smashing Pumpkins. I like them. They're good. Let's go. I've seen him like a lot. But we walked up to the vendor that sells the T-shirts, and I was like, "Oh, which one you want?" And he's looking, and he's like, "Where's the Jane's Addiction shirts?" And I go, "Huh? We're a Smashing Pumpkins show. Jane's the opening act." He's like, "Yeah, but they were really cool." I go, "They were, young man." And so we walked over and we got Jane's Addiction shirts. So he doesn't have a Smashing Pumpkin shirt. So that could be a good birthday present. The present that I'm working on, well, I don't the cash. He's gonna get cash. That's what he likes. He likes cash, whatever. But I also try and get him present, something. And that's gonna be, I believe, probably a Caleb Williams jersey. Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. Good old number 18. I think he's 18. I should probably look that up. I think he's gonna be 18. To go with his Justin Fields jersey. It is my hope that by the time he graduates college, he will have a closet filled with failed Chicago Bear quarterback jerseys. That's my hope. That's not my hope. I hope that it stops with 2. I hope that he has one Justin Fields, and then he's going to have, over the course of the next few years, about 5 or 6 different Caleb Williams jerseys. That is our hope. James Spelter jumping in late. What did I miss? What did you miss? You can back it up. That's the beautiful thing, James. You can go all the way back to the building. You're not too late. You're right on time. Anytime you want to consume this show. I'd also so I was trying to learn last night about these analytics and algorithms and all of this kind of stuff with YouTube and stuff. Man, just start liking stuff. I don't say that enough. Like everything, please. If you're watching this, whatever it is that you're watching it on, if you're watching it on Facebook, if you're watching it on YouTube, like it. Maybe share it if you're so inclined. That would be wonderful too. But the likes, apparently I need likes. I don't tell people to do this. This is why every other video that I watch, the idiot is like, be sure and hit like and subscribe. They're really hard on it. And I'm like, what are these idiots? What do they so care about? Well, it matters. It matters in the algorithm. So please, guys, help me out. Like, everything. Subscribe, like, subscribe, share, like, subscribe, share. If you support this show, and so many of you do, that is something we need to start pushing. Year three, I'm just now going, maybe it's important that we like and subscribe. Maybe these kids talking about that stuff on every YouTube video I see, maybe they're onto something. Yes, you do, Frank. Frank, you're a wonderful supporter. I thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about. Oh, here's something. I discovered a new show last night that I'll be watching. I'll be watching tonight as a protest when my son and I watch TV in the same room. And I use that very loosely because that means one person watches what's actually on TV and the other person wears headphones and buries their face in a laptop. That'll be him, but we'll be in the same room. What? And then he'll say, what? I watched that whole thing with you. It's like, no, you didn't. You were in headphones. You didn't watch anything. Anyway, point is this. Can you tell this bothers me? Point is this. I found a new show that I'm going to watch, and it's awesome because he's not going to like it at all. And there are going to become moments when his headphones need to be recharged or his phone needs to be recharged. And he's going to have to watch what I'm watching. And now he's going to have to watch something that is going to hold no interest for him. But it's pretty good. If you're a grown up, it's on Netflix. I'm trying to think of what it's called now. Holy crappers. It's the new Netflix series from, of all people, David E. Kelly. That's right. David E. Kelly doing a Netflix series. David E. Kelly, Mr. Hollywood TV creator, superstar. Yeah. David E. Kelly's got a new one. And it's good. I watched the first 2 episodes last night. It's called A Man Apart, I think. A Man Apart. Jeff Daniels. I always get that wrong because he's kind of like a Jeff Bridges. He kind of looks like a younger Jeff Bridges. Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber. Jeff Daniels from The Newsroom. Jeff Daniels from Gods and Generals. Jeff Daniels from just about everything great. He's awesome. Jeff Daniels plays a billionaire real estate developer whose business is going down the tubes. It's just about how panicked and he gets his private jet taken from him. While he lands, there's like federal marshals. They're like, there's a lien on this jet. It's really good. I think it's called A Man Apart. Who else is in it? Diane Lane is in it. She plays his ex-wife. She's very pretty. If you guys watch For All Mankind, Sarah Jones is in it. Sarah Jones plays Jeff Daniels' new wife, his trophy wife. Who is she on? She plays the badass chick astronaut who becomes like the superstar chick. She's like heroic and she's kind of a bad girl, but I can't think of her character's name. She was married to Gordo. She's Gordo's ex-wife, who would go on to like become a much more famous astronaut. Anyway, she plays Jeff Daniels' new trophy wife in this film, this movie, this series. It's a series. It's called A Man Apart. It's good. It's good. But you know me, I hate the one percenters. So to be able to watch one completely melt down and to see all the shit get taken away from him. And he, by the way, deserves to have it all taken away from him. He's a bad guy. Jeff Daniels plays him as a bad guy. Jeff Daniels is a great actor. He's terrific. He plays this guy really well with like a shady Georgia accent in his big giant glass tower office. It's pretty good. I think it's called A Man Apart. So A Man in Full. There you go. It's A Man in Full. Thank you, April. Hey, you know what? Why not let's watch the trailer for it. Let's see, why not? Because I did really like the first 2 episodes. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to watch the trailer here for what I'm going to be ripping through this weekend while my son ignores me. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. New on Netflix this week. A Man in Full.
Charlie Croker is the biggest hero of real estate in Atlanta. The problem is he's going bankrupt. Jesus balls almighty. Mr. Croker, party's over. You won't take your shot? You better make it your best one. Nothing can kill me. I'm not sure who the hell you think you're talking to. I'm talking to a shithead.
I'm going down. Charlie is disgusting. And his debt could be your debt.
I don't just want to take down your ex-husband. I want to devour him.
Let's eat! What is my calling? Keeping Charlie from being at his worst? Ask my attorney. Screw these sons of bitches back.
What you're endeavoring to do is just vile. Remove your hand, or I will stab it with my fork.
You think I could take him?
I'm sorry?
Croker, you think I could kick his ass?
Is that important?
Mm.
When people try to take you down, it's a gift. I'm tougher than all you put together. It would be insensitive to fight you given your diagnosis. Excuse me? We got hold of your medical records. Turns out you're a pussy.
All right. Yeah, come on. I'm just telling you. First 2 episodes I watched last night. 8 episodes full. 8 episodes in total. Miniseries. It's very good. First 2 episodes are very good. I'm like, okay, let's ride. Let's do this. So there you have it. There's something. Because I can't suggest for you this weekend that Jerry Seinfeld movie, Frosted. We read the Richard Roper review. I'll probably still check it out to see if, it is, because it looked interesting. It looks silly. But if it's just dumb, then. But see, who am I to say what is dumb? I only made it 20 minutes into Barbie. I watched 20 minutes of Barbie and I went, this looks dumb. This is dumb. What the hell is going on? Oh, the kids are all coming home from school. 2:30? What are they going to half day? This neighborhood, we're right around the corner from like a gigantic middle school. That's seriously laid out like it's bigger and nicer than Collin County Community College. This middle school here. Seriously, it's absurd. Has underground parking. Yeah, a middle school. Anyway, point is this. We're right around the corner. So right around this time of day, although it's not this time, this is too early. Should be like a half hour from now or something. All the streets just get flooded with kids. And I'm saying this, like, but actually it's really kind of cute. It's very American. All these kids walking home from school. Yeah, they're all super rich kids, but whatever. They're all walking home from school, riding their motorized bikes. Have you seen those? Every single one of these kids has like a $1,000 motorized bike. The electric bikes all kids have, or all rich kids have. It's very nice. It's very nice. My point is this. It's fine. I'm not complaining. I'm not like, damn kids walking home from school. No, I'm like, it's kind of nice. Very Norman Rockwell. Here's where it's not nice. The freaking dog goes nuts. The dog goes absolutely nuts. It's just a nonstop stream of kids. And then the dog's in the window and the kids see the dog and the kids are like, look at that doggy. And then the dog goes rah, 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 like crazy. And come here. Say goodbye to everybody. Come here. Come on. Come here. I'm talking about you. Come on. Come here. Look what you got. Come on. Come on. I got to pretend like I got something. Come up here. Come on. Yeah. Say hello. Come on. There you go. There she is. Hi. You going to go crazy with the kids? Say hi. Look into the camera. This is CeeLo. She's a Catahoula Bulldog. All right. Time for a walk before it gets rainy, huh? We'll go out for a walk. Yeah. Your breath still smells like poop? Does your breath smell like poop? Yep, it sure does. She's not even a poop eater. I established that. All right. Go lay down. Go. Be gone. Oh, you're stuck. You're stuck. You don't know what to do now. She's gonna climb all the way up. Here she comes. There she comes. Yeah, she's got it now. Now she's just in the giant chair. She's gonna climb up on the table. Okay. What do you? Okay. What do you can try and just sit on me? Is that what you want? You can just smell me with your poops, with your poop face. All right, go. Go that way and jump into the bed. You can jump on the bed. Oh, she does. She thinks she's a cat, except she's 75 pounds of solid beef. Big beef. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that scare you? All right, guys, we're going to have to go where she needs a walk. And I think she's scared now. I think she has climbed up on the ledge of this chair, and it's a pretty big drop down. She didn't think that through. So now we're going to have to sign off, and I'm probably going to have to carry her down. I tell the world what an amazing athlete you are, that you're like this incredible athletic dog. And now you're afraid to jump into a bed. That's a bed you'll be jumping into. It's a mattress. Dogs are dumb. Folks, I love you. If you want to help out the show, please drop a little something. You can do it in the Venmo or the Cash App. Okay, stop licking stuff. Stop licking stuff. She has no idea what I'm doing. All right. All right. There you go. Go ahead, get yourself comfortable. I want to see if she can jump, if she's going to try and jump into the bed. Go ahead. Go. 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 Yeah. Hey, there she goes. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. There you go. All right. Come on back. Come on back now. She's just barely off camera. Folks, have a great weekend. If there is any big news or anything like that, we'll break in with it. We'll do some live streaming, some covering this week. What was that? Sorry, she just made a noise. You good? Okay. All right, folks. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Support if you're so inclined. That would be great. Love you guys. Bye.